Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. Welcome to the Giant Bombcast, episode 920. Holy smokes, I am your host, Jan Ochoa. Joining me, co-captain of the ship, Jeff Grubb.
I think I'm going to become a Long John's guy because it's one of those things where no one needs to know because it'll always be under my clothes.
Is that just pants or is that a whole deal?
That's the whole thing.
Right now, the Long Johns I'm wearing are just the shirt, but that's what I'm saying is I think I'm going to commit and do the full deal. I don't know if it needs to be a onesie. I mean, I'll do it. I'm not against it, but I just like the idea because it's hard to be like, oh, I'm going to be a hat guy now or something. Like it's an outward appearance. You have to commit to it. Like, oh, I'm going to start wearing an eye patch. But Long Johns, it's my own private areas. No one needs to know, and I could still feel pretty good about it.
You going butt flap style?
I mean, I'm not against it. I gotta say, I've never seen the butt flap onesie Long John aisle at Walmart. So I don't know how to procure these things, but I'm gonna try.
He is the human.
You know what, Merchmaster Mitch, get me some.
He's the human embodiment of the butt flap because he is easy to access. Who's it gonna be?
What?
Who's it gonna be? Dan Reichert.
Yeah. I think I'm approachable. If you mean easy to access, if you see me out there and you come say hi, I'm an approachable, friendly man, but not like my butt.
No. I mean, like how you phrased it. Exactly.
Yeah,
I've never been intimidated to
went
talk
right from
to
the
you.
butt flap to easy to enter, and it's like I just don't want to.
Well,
throw that
enter
out in the universe,
accessible, friendship.
A lot of gas comes out of there, you know.
That's,
yeah.
That's true. That is true.
That's true.
Yes.
Speaking
funny.
about gas, sometimes I imagine him in a hot air balloon because he is so dang tall. Turbo Sean McDowell.
You know, when Grubb said I'm becoming a Long John guy, I thought he meant the donuts, and
What's a Long John
I
donut?
respect it.
Oh, I could do that too. I definitely had my Long John donut period for sure.
What, is that a log or like?
Yeah,
It's the long one with no cream filling, just chocolate icing on top or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm a Boston cream guy.
Speaking about cream, he's full of it because he's a little cannoli. Jeff Bacalar.
Oh man, I'm the Italian faking person now, I guess. What's up, Jen? How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. Grubb said hat guy, and that was an easy segue to get to you, but I just went for the butt flap.
Sure, cream, butt flap, whatever you need, bud.
And he is everything that I need. And yesterday was Sean's birthday. And yesterday was Dan Reichert's birthday. And yesterday was also my birthday. And I guess it was also 3:06 p.m. Mike Minotti, the bad boy of games media's birthday.
Hi, everybody. Oh, come on. That birthday was yesterday. We still don't have to talk about that thing. That'd be ridiculous.
It's still our birthday month, though.
Yeah. It's our
Yeah.
collective birthday month.
Yeah, don't be insane. The moment has passed. We don't have to keep going on and on.
He's putting on his birthday button from Disney
There you
audio
go.
listeners.
Mike, I didn't know you get free desserts because I swear I've worn that button before on my shoot birthday at Disneyland, and no one did anything for me.
Oh, Disney World, they're much nicer to you. Disneyland, they don't care.
That's true. That's true.
Sorry, West Coast.
Is there a universally Disney fans? Do they look at World or Land almost universally as better, or is there competing factions?
There's a little
There's
turf war.
factions. There's different, a lot of it is just kind of geographic. West Coast people tend to like Disneyland more.
If someone comes up to you and says, I have a family going to Disney, which one should I go to? There's a clear answer, right? It's Disney World.
Even for me, though, it's usually how long you looking to go. You can go for a couple days, go to Disneyland. You want to do a week vacation somewhere, go to Disney World.
Geographically, right? It matters.
Geographics
Mike?
matter more, yeah.
Sure, of course. Although, plane rides are plane rides in a certain degree anymore.
Before we get on with the show, Chef Grubb, I'd like to hear from you how folks at home can support us over here at giantbomb.com.
Yeah, I'm going to start with the way people have been supporting us. We have a lot of people out there who have our backs because we're independent games media. We're out here on our own, no corporate backers, nothing like that. We just have you all who have gone to giantbomb.com/join and became premium members and are supporting us and ensuring that we can continue doing what we want to do over here. It's already a party. It's just going to get better. The website is up and running and more features are getting turned on every day. All the thanks in the world to Chuck you should show your support to Chuck by going to giantbomb.com/join and saying, hey, the website's real now. Let's go ahead and make this our home base on the internet and support it while we're doing that. And once again, thank you to everybody who has done that.
Speaking about the website is no longer frozen because Chuck has made us a goddamn brand new, fully functioning website. It's beautiful. I love it. Again, I'm speaking from mine and Sean's perspective. So much easier to use.
It works, dude. It actually works.
I can
It's not from 2008 anymore?
No.
Yeah.
And then like we can upload an MP3 file and it's just there and we don't have to do some weird duct tape jazz anymore.
People don't even know, Jan. That was just the nightmare for the past 2 years.
Oh my God. And then video's not really working and then you hit publish and then something goes to the wrong feed and then you got to jump through several hoops. But speaking about the website, I got a couple notes from Chuck here. If you have opted into keeping your account, you can request a password reset now on giantbomb.com. For folks that have been having trouble logging onto the website, that is what you can do right now. We are looking for any help towards the wiki. If you go to bombcast.com/wiki, you can help Chuck. If you join the Giant Bomb Discord, there is a Wiki Street Team channel to lend some assistance, specifically some PHP and JavaScript jazz. All I know about JavaScript is that Minecraft runs it. I don't know if that's true. Features are all work in progress. Still got lists on the way, blogs, reviews are all saved, but it'll take a little bit of time because it is pretty much just Chuck doing it. And your patience is definitely appreciated. We love you, and we especially love Chuck. Everyone should fuck with Chuck, but not in like a negative way, just like a I fucks with you dog type of way.
Yeah.
And you know who else I fucks with, gang? Fucks with Main Gear, maingear.com/giantbomb. Go buy yourself a PC, go buy yourself a faceplate. Don't buy mics though. No, buy everyone else's.
It's cool.
Why would you want to? Yeah.
Got Space Mountain on it.
Man,
Your face and your dog.
The pain in the words, it's cool.
Now
plain milk's fine.
But my face is on the side plate. You wouldn't be getting that. Just my delightful dog riding Stitch's car.
I like your dog.
Thank you. I like her
You
too.
know?
She went to the North Pole while I was gone. They
Okay, never mind.
the
What?
boarding place was like the boarding place is always like trying to upcharge you. They always text like, today's Starbucks day. You want to get your dog a Starbucks cup? Like,
Oh my
the Starbucks
God.
cup is made of milk bones or something for $15. It's always something like that. But they were like, they're like, oh, you want to? It's picture day. Is your dog want to go to the North Pole? And I was like,
God.
well, she did almost die the other week, and I'm like, maybe I should get a picture of her, right? So yeah, she did go to the North Pole, and that was pretty cute.
Mike, do you consider yourself an easy upsell? Because like I did go to a rainforest cafe with you once, and it wasn't like a big. It was just like at a mall in Minnesota, and somebody came around and was like, "Do you want to buy a photo?" And you're like, "Yes, I do." And you bought a photo, and it's on my
That's a
mantle.
great
That's-
photo.
that's-
Oh my
that's
God.
a very good
Worth
photo.
Every penny, literally.
No, wait a second. Now, Dan, that is a treasured memory, and you have that picture.
I do. It is up there. I've got like 4 photos framed up there in the den.
Yeah.
I've got me, Jan, and Cody Rhodes. I have me and Mike at a rainforest cafe.
Not that Rainforest Cafe, everybody.
No, I wouldn't go in that
the,
one.
the
No.
infamous one, sure.
No, yeah.
I don't think I'm an easy upcharge person. It's just only when it's funny.
I am.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah.
Only when
I
it's
like to
fun.
get
Okay.
stuff, especially if it's like photos and memories. It's like that's always the easy one because it's like I will always get a hit of dopamine looking back on stuff like
See,
that.
but
So,
I
yeah,
don't
whatever.
like
Yeah.
when they will approach your table and take the photo and then come to you afterwards and like,
Oh, of
hey,
course.
That's
No,
what they did at
right.
the Rainforest
we
Cafe.
printed
yeah.
this out
Yeah.
already. We already wasted the
100%.
paper.
There's a
They
way to
got
do
us at that 30 Rock right after Grub pooped.
it. Yes,
Right.
they got us at the Buca de Beppo, right? When we were hanging
Yeah.
out.
They did
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Chris Tilton. Yeah.
Yeah. But I love that they
Mhm.
only took a picture of Dan and I.
Yeah.
There were 2 other people at the table.
I definitely got at the Donkey Kong ride photo thing because there's like a picture of me and my girlfriend on the Donkey Kong ride. It's a cute photo.
That's
And it's
great.
like, yeah, but it's like it'll be $25 for this JPEG. Like, so
Yeah.
printing it out for me. I'm like, for crying out loud.
So,
Yep.
Mike, you take your dog to like a hotel kind of joint?
Yeah. My awful family won't do it. So
You have 400 family members in like a
they
6-block radius of you.
I don't know. If they're in chat, you can ask them why
So-
they're
They're
terrible
friends.
people.
So
What
one
is-
of your
what is that
brothers
about?
will like collude with Dan to hide an outfit and a game. but they will not watch Penny.
They don't want to watch Penny while I'm gone. Now, Penny maybe has accidents sometimes.
Oh.
Can sometimes be a little loud, so maybe that is
The occasional slur. I get it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I got the whole
Mean drunk.
English thing from her. Oh, that's right, Dan. I wanted to not yell at you, but maybe persuade you. I think you've been painting me lately, and I think in my mind you believe that I am classified as a very online person. You even tried to work it into your Metroid Prime 4 review.
I did take it out at Sean's request. Yes. I do think you're the most online person I know. Yeah, Sean is
wrong.
silently nodding his head right now.
Well, no,
Yeah.
okay, let's be clear. Out of us,
Yeah.
it is Bacalar, but Bacalar's quiet about it.
Well,
Bacalar,
no.
No
Bacalar,
way.
Bacalar had a whole show about being very online.
I know,
I
but
see,
like
I see,
Bacalar,
yes.
what's the latest with Hassan?
Yeah, I mean, I know like Twitch drama stuff and shit
Yeah,
like
okay,
that.
right.
I'm
That
cool
sentence
with that.
alone, guys. Come on.
Yeah,
That's a
you
lot. Okay,
know,
I didn't
yeah.
realize
Drama.
that. Mike knows every stupid gaming industry drama. Everything
I work
like
in the gaming industry.
I know, but you don't have to. Like the thing is, you know every stupid like.
I'm pretty online.
My frame of reference is always like the Puddlegate thing in Spider-Man, like just dumb fucking
Right, I didn't
thing
agree
where
with
people
that,
are getting
but
mad
I
about.
knew about it.
I do think that Grub and I are mostly quiet about it. I do think you and I, Jeff, like kind of know what's up, like what's going on.
That is correct. I think I'm very online, and I also don't enjoy talking about it with people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, same.
Wait,
It's just
okay, so
sorta
let's
like
see.
for me.
Wait, Manati, do you have a TikTok?
No, I don't use
Okay.
TikTok.
Okay, same. So maybe you're not the most.
That's all
actually-
I want to do. I just wanted to talk this out and maybe
Okay,
dissuade you from this
raise your
mental
hands if you have a
branding you've
TikTok.
done on me.
I actually
Raise your hand
think
if you have TikTok. Okay.
I'm the most online.
I
maybe.
have TikTok.
Jan's-
I'm
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't
not
have
that
one. I
much,
don't use
but I do
it.
have
Okay. So me.
Yeah, I
okay.
don't log into TikTok maybe once every 2 weeks now.
I only got on Instagram recently.
Okay.
Yeah, and I got on Instagram at Dan's request saying it's good, it's better than Twitter. And he's
Yeah,
right.
I do like Instagram.
Yeah,
Mike,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
too busy checking the YouTube comments of a video you were in every 5 minutes. You don't
I
have
think
enough
we're
time for
related.
Instagram.
Work related. Yeah.
I would, well, yeah, we don't have to talk about that out loud, but yeah, I think, I think everyone finds the place that they want to be, right?
Yeah.
Everyone- I think, I would say save for Dan, who is, I would say chronically offline.
Well, I mean,
Um,
like Dan, you like keep up more with politics than I think people would expect. Like you watch,
That surprises me to hear because I don't know a lot.
yeah, but
Yeah,
you
but
like
you always know more than I expect
you know,
to
I think you like
You're grabbing
yes.
headlines from somewhere.
Yeah, you bring them into conversations more
You-
than I would
yeah,
think.
you
not,
do
not
a-
that I'm saying it's a lot and it's not a problem.
No,
That's
no,
not
no.
what
Yeah.
I'm saying. I'm just
Right,
saying like
right,
I'm always surprised. Like, oh yeah, Dan is on top of this. He knows the basic facts of the story and stuff like that. Yeah,
I think it's perspective. Like you don't expect the dude who doesn't know what an egg white is to know like what's happening,
Yeah.
with Congress and
But
everything,
I also,
right?
and it's not just that. I to me, Dan strikes me as someone who doesn't care. But then it's like I think he just can't help but like get this
No.
information for whatever reason. Yeah.
I do follow and I do care. I just I think with what we do, I just don't ever feel like there's just so many things
No,
that
I agree.
I don't
Yeah.
see. Like I don't see the point in bringing up like on a video game podcast necessarily.
No, of
you know?
course.
But, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think you're trying to emulate Homer Simpson, like randomly really knowing a lot about Supreme Court justices, which is a very good bit.
Look, everything I know is from like Mad Magazine from the 90s, so it's not
Sure.
that much. Yeah.
Okay, this was a productive conversation. Thank you, Dan.
I'm glad that we could hash that out. How is everyone else doing? This week is TGA week. It's Keely's winter birthday.
We're gonna be in a place together a week from now.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're just
How
talking
much have
about
we
that
said
now,
about
right?
the
Yeah.
plan?
We
Publicly?
haven't.
How much-
So,
Said it.
well, let's
Yeah.
just say it again, folks.
Yeah.
We are not going down as a whole to Los Angeles for TGA week. We're going to these fine gentlemen will be talking over the TGAs this week. I'll be headed down. I'll be slanging buzzballs outside.
You're
miscellaneous
going. Tell
hotels.
everyone you're going.
Because
man.
I'm going. Representing the gang over her. So hey, I had the hardest time finding black pants to match my blazer yesterday, gang.
Aw.
It was not the right shade. I was like having a meltdown with Nikki on the phone. I'm like, they don't
no.
match. Anyway, I was able to find them, but that doesn't matter because next week we will all be together and we will be recording the Game of the Year podcasts for giantbomb.com that will be interspersed over the holiday break. should we just say when we're dropping those? We should just say, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's give people something to look forward to. Yeah.
Yes. So, folks at home, we're going to be recording 4 days worth of podcasts next week that will be dropping December 23rd, 25th, December 30th, and January 1st. January 1st, you will get the top 10, but days 1, 2, and 3 will be fun categories as they usually are. We had a little bit of contention with some of the categories, gang. Someone swooping some of our ideas out there, other outlets.
Oh, yeah.
So we may have to pivot, make some adjustments. That's why Grub has a golf club right now. He's ready to swang.
That's right. About to hit you with it. That's what I do with golf clubs.
Yes. Folks, any other, we good? It was fine. Everything's, Mike, how are you?
Me, I'm great. Last year in my 30s, thinking about that only a little bit.
Oh,
not
whoa,
too
you're
much.
going to die someday.
Yeah, that's for sure. I do like playing along those jokes. Like my one buddy just calls me up like, how's it feel to, you're going to be dead soon. I'm like, yeah, death. Dying.
Well, it's like, it's one of those things like we know it can't be like it happens to everybody. So it's like joking about it's a fair thing, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Real quick before we get too far away from the Game Awards stuff, Sean's also collecting music recs soon.
Yeah,
if you
I'm
wanna tell
literally putting the form together now because I was busy with other stuff this morning. Yeah. So I will have a thread on Blue Sky as usual if you want to like drop YouTube links to songs that you would like to see featured in Music of the Year.
And it's not going to work unless that music's from Sectori, right? That's what you were telling me.
I mean, got some good music. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
If you're not on social media, because I wouldn't blame you at this point, I will also have a Google form here that I will get the link for by the end of the show that I'll also put in the podcast description for everyone in case you would like to submit that way instead.
Lovely. Folks, we're also working on trying to make and bank some content for your viewing pleasure over the holiday break, because I think we all need to just decompress and take some time away from our computers for a hot second. Anyway, are we ready to talk about games?
Video games.
I guess.
Hope y'all know this birthday was low key. Next year when I turn 40, it's going to be pretty insufferable.
I would have it no other way.
This was low key?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Jan.
Absolutely low key.
Oh, boy.
We had a whole stream for you yesterday.
Oh, you had to
That's
play
it?
Lego Party with me.
At your request.
Yeah, that's fun.
I thought it was a good idea. I had a good time watching
It was fun. I enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
yeah, no,
That was great.
I was
No,
at
that
the
was
doctor's
good.
office and setting up predictions, and that was a good time. Getting chat to gamble. I love when I get to get chat to gamble.
Yeah.
Folks, we've made it out of various jails, right? As a collective, we broke out.
I told folks we could break out of jail, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, it happened.
I'm a break embargo right now.
Whoa.
I'm gonna break embargo right fucking now.
Jen, no!
Think
Easy,
about what you're
Jen.
doing.
No, I don't
Jan,
care. I'm gonna do
Dan,
it.
you're going to put Mike in Disney jail for this one.
can't-
Are you sure about this?
He can't survive on the outside, guys. He's got to go back in. Now freedom are the walls
Guys,
for him.
I got that dog in me. All right, I
shit.
got that dog in me, and that dog needs to bark right now because I'm gonna break an embargo right now.
What's
because
that dog's name, Jen?
We just
that dog's name is Bluey because I've been playing Bluey's Quest for the Golden Pen. This is a mobile game.
Legitimately under embargo right now.
Legitimately under embargo right now.
I told us it was okay to break the embargo.
Don't break
to be clear.
kayfabe.
Shut up! Shut up,
I
Mike!
can't have anyone thinking I would do this to Disney.
It's fine. They're Australian Disney. It's okay. This is a mobile game made by Half Brick Studios, and if folks remember Half Brick, fantastic pedigree. Kind of like when I think of mobile game studios, they're one of the top ones outside of like Rovio because of like
They make they make real mobile games. That's
Yeah, they
what I
made one
think.
of the good mobile games.
Yeah,
Two-
that's
two
what I
of
think
them.
about when I
Two
think
of
of
them.
Half-Brick, yeah.
they made
Yeah.
like Fruit Ninja and
yeah.
Jetpack Joyride, and I played.
I love Jetpack Joyride.
I played too
That's why
much
you asked
Jetpack
about
Joyride.
jetpacks earlier.
Yes. Also, what a fantastic name for a studio, Half Bricked. And let me tell you, I'm bricked up for Bluey's Quest for the Golden Pen.
Not quite the name.
You can't say that.
Now, imagine,
What kind of-
gang,
Yeah,
if
please.
you had an isometric not quite Diablo, but a little puzzle game featuring Bluey and Bluey's sister Bingo. But in this game, Bingo, this is why I was just laughing to myself for 2 minutes. Bingo is now a goose in Bluey's imaginary world, but Bingo is Bingoose in this world.
Bingus?
Cool.
Bingoose, not Bingus, all right?
Jan, I'm so sorry. We do have breaking news coming from the chat from a Minotti. And a Minotti in the chat is saying, I'm catching up in regard to not watching Penny. My family has done it multiple times. And each time, the first thing she does is take a dump in the middle of the kitchen. Also, I have 2 bigger dogs, and it gets interesting with all of them.
Look, she's nervous.
And this is similar to the Bluey dynamic in many ways.
Yes. There's a lot of dogs in Bluey. But I actually think this could be a very approachable game for the youth to check out. Grub, I think the gimmicks would actually enjoy it. It is very light in terms of the puzzle nature of it. It is an isometric style. It kind of reminds me of, gosh, what was it is escaping me, but it is in Bluey's imagination where she has drawn Bluey and Bingo, and then her father is the bad guy in this. Yes, we enter Bluey's mind palace here, and there's various things where you will use a wand to move platforms around and collect candy and give the candy to your mom Chili. On top of that, there's kind of like no combat per se. It is very non-confrontational, much like the show. Okay. And the neat thing is all of the voice talent has returned for the show as well. From my memory, I think the creator of Bluey actually also has a hand in writing this game. So if you have little gimmicks out there that also got that gamer dog in them and you want to start introducing them into games, I think this is a fantastic first go around. There's about 9 levels. It is like free to start, and then I believe there's either a one-time fee to check out to unlock the full game, or you can just pay per level. I'm about like maybe 30-40 minutes into it, and it is just like watching the show, where it is just like pleasant. You can because I feel like the show Bluey appeals to all ages, where it is doing
the
that,
most watched show in the world right now. Yeah,
exactly. Where the writing in it is approachable enough where you can just you feel safe having your kids watch it, but also if you are an adult, you are a parent watching it as well. It is something where it's like, oh, okay, like I can see y'all trying to actually teach kids here, and it is fun seeing that same lens of Bluey being applied to video games, where kids may actually be like, oh, okay, this is what I got to do over here. Half Brick Studios, sorry for breaking the embargo on Bluey's quest for the golden pen. We're trying to get the golden pen so Bingoose can lay eggs.
Of course.
And then Bandit is living up to his name because he stole the golden pen from Bluey.
Oh, Bandit. Bad dad.
Have any of you guys actually watched any Bluey?
Yeah, oh, sure. Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Now, to be clear, you had it on because the kids watch it. I didn't like request. Yeah, I might have requested Bluey later.
I think you requested it on the way home.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But you were feeling not so good in your tum tum. So yeah.
Oh yeah, Bluey is a safe space. Bluey's very pleasant.
Yeah,
it can actually be funny. It's sweet. It's pleasant to look at. Bluey is good vibes.
I think the thing that puts it over the top for a lot of parents is it has deep emotional intelligence. Like, it's a show that truly like respects all its characters and respects the idea of kids having autonomy, but also needing to have appropriate adults like modeling behavior, and then recognizing that it's difficult to model that behavior because parents also are frustrated and traumatized and have a million, and like they touch on all these things in a really mature way. It's so good that like my daughter hates dogs. Like, she just hates dogs. I like the way she got introduced to Bluey was a YouTube video where they do the intro music of that mom, dad. But every single time it was Brian painted blue and he was getting hit by a car over and over again. And they thought it was hilarious.
Wow.
But Bluey is so good that then she gave it a chance after that, and it's the one dog that she likes is Bluey. So she got over her hatred of dogs for this show. I'm very interested to introduce this to them, Jan. Is it like Is this something where like they are clearly trying to build a big service or something, or is it just like, no, it's a video game, go play it, and when you're done, you're done?
No, it just feels like the model that they're going after is just like, hey, if you like this, try it out. Here's like a free level, and if you want to get the full game, I believe it's like $14.99. It's out. It's going to be out on iOS tomorrow because we're breaking embargo right now.
We're all bad boys. And yeah, it looks like the Google Play version is January 10th, and it's coming to Switch 2, PS5, and Xbox of 2026.
Yeah, there's nothing about this that seems very predatory at all. Because you're not unlocking skins for Bluey. There's no pay to win part. There's no PvP in this. I don't know if there's any PvE even. Just light puzzle solving with some like timed mechanics occasionally. But yeah, if you got a little gimmick out there, I actually do recommend Bluey's Quest for the Golden Pen. I was trying to get Scout to play along, but her attention span isn't that great. So she just kind of said, F off, Dad. I'm going to go eat some snacks. I hope we don't get into the dog pound for breaking embargo for Bluey's Quest for the Golden Pen.
Yeah. We'll have to call Penny from the North Pole to come save us.
That's right. Our, it's funny. My since moving back in with my folks, my Scout will just spend time with my mom, and when my mom leaves, she will put Bluey on for Scout. And I'm like, you don't have to put cartoons on for a dog. But Scout's attention is just there, and she's just looking at the other long dogs in the show. I need corgi representation in Bluey. All right.
I don't think they know about those in Australia.
Yeah.
Jeff and I went for the same joke.
Oh, you were joking. I'm dead serious.
They got all the other dogs there.
But didn't the Queen of England like corgis a lot? So maybe they might be against that in Australia.
Oh yeah, right.
They got
it in a box. I think they would say instead. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They got a
Jeff, what's with the golf club?
It's a fiddle stick thing.
I think that's cool. You should make that your thing. Wrestling managers like, oh, I have the tennis racket and I've got the polo thing, and like you should just be the golf club guy.
Long johns and a putter can be my thing.
I like it. I like it.
You
go outside, get in the mail. There he is. I wish he would put on more clothes, but all right.
Nope. That's that guy in the neighborhood.
Energy over there.
Nope. Yep. Yeah. What color long johns you think, and Grub? Just like the regular white?
I don't want white because the idea of pit stains and stuff is like deeply like uncomfortable to me. So I would go with something like a dark color, a gray, probably like a heather gray or something.
Heather gray, fantastic.
Isn't that weird? The whole pit thing, because it's like we only do that and make that smoke because supposedly it's supposed to attract mates, but now as a society we decide that's why we do that, right? It's a strong
was there a time
I don't know,
like when you see like old Renaissance paintings and it's like, oh, back in the Renaissance, like being plump was seen as like, oh, that's attractive, right. Like was there a thing where it's like, oh yeah, those armpits are stinky,
that's why
she's
animals
hot.
Do it. That's the whole point. It's like your stench, and it's supposed to be like, they
have a variety of reasons that they have stenches. I don't know. That one
humans were that way too, like we were into pit smells.
We definitely have pheromones. I don't know if we were into pit smells specifically. I am skeptical of Mike's claim.
There's something for everyone. Everyone is into a thing.
I'm glad that we have this conversation right after talking about Bluey's Quest for the Golden Pen.
Correct.
Bluey washes well.
There we go. I guess the other game that's big that we can talk about is Metroid Prime 4. I don't know.
I want to say I have not heard any of your thoughts on it, and I'm very excited to hear how validated or at odds I am with any of you with opinions.
I'm only maybe 3-4 hours in, and I just want to get my shit off at the top because y'all are bigger Metroid fans than I am. Miles McKenzie, everyone is freaking the fuck out for nothing. What the fuck? Yep. Y'all on the internet just love to be mad over nothing. This dude, you just meet him once. That whole segment is less than 10 minutes even. And you can't even put him on the radio when you get into like a level or a temple or whatever they're supposed to be called. He is a non-factor, and everyone was just getting worked up for fucking nothing. So all of y'all on the internet just need to fucking relax. Also, there's nothing wrong with Chadley from Final Fantasy.
Why is Mike making that face?
Mike is about to boil over like a pot.
I'm way more excited to hear Mike talk about this game.
Just about. Okay, go ahead.
I was going to shut up and just let you do it because I have some thoughts too, but I want to get out of your way.
Yeah, how should we do this, Mike? You just want to go first?
Let Mike go first.
Mikey. What do you think? What do you think of this?
We know you want to go first.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I think I'm at a point where I'm like in between a 2 and a 3 out of 5 on this game. Yes, I don't like
2 or 3 out of 5, really?
Yeah, I think it's.
What did you give it, Dan?
I give it a 5.
Oh, right.
That's why I'm like fascinated to hear this, because like I loved it so much pre-release, and I saw the reviews, and I haven't really read them or anything, so I just know that they're all over the map. So like I genuinely want to hear like why people aren't.
So real quick, let me give it some good thing. The game looks amazing, absolutely. It plays amazing. It feels incredible to play, to control, to move around, to explore, to do things in the game. Riding the motorcycle feels great, actually. Anytime you swap between being Samus or the Morph Ball, getting on the motorcycle, snappy, incredible. Using all the powers, the Psychic Spider Ball or whatever, feels great. The game has deep structural issues that I think. A lot of the reviews I think would be like, this game feels like other games stitched together. I want to say exactly what I feel like happened here. I don't know, but here's what I feel like happened here.
Is this like, this isn't, to be clear, this is not conspiracy theory. This is well-informed speculation.
This is not, it's just like, I have no insight into what happened.
Right.
I just feel like the circumstantial evidence of this game laid before me, they were like, oh God, we have to do for Metroid what happened for Breath of the Wild. So we are going to kind of restructure Metroid in the same way that Zelda got restructured, which is let's take the core thing that happens in Zelda. You are confronted with a problem and you have a tool to solve it. But let's make it bigger and work in an open world sense. So you have a core set of tools and you can apply those to all these problems in the open world. And they kind of happen a little bit more organically. And it's kind of a magic thing that happened there. They really pulled it off. Here, I think what happened is they're like, we can maybe do the same thing with Metroid. They didn't get over the hump. They're like somewhere along the line, they realized we can't actually make that game. We need to scale back, take the parts we have, slap them together in a way that it's like kind of feels like what's the closest thing we can get here to a good game, and that is like Ocarina of Time. So they have these dungeons, they have this area that connects them, and for the game that they're making, it's like it's okay, but so frequently I'm like, what is the purpose of me not having a lot of Metroid style exploration happening in any of these other specific like siloed areas? And really all of that is maybe I get a tool later that acts as a key where I'm like, okay, I got it in this one area. Now I get to go back to this previous area, use it in the one door that I couldn't open before. And I'm just not moved by that. It's a game that the more I play, the less I'm liking it.
But do you feel that like, so it is different in that like, oh, you get a thing over here in this kind of like zone and you do need to bring it back over here. And instead of kind of like backtracking through just corridors and things to get to an elevator that'll take you to that other zone, you are taking the motorcycle across the desert and stuff. Like, do you not feel like it's somewhat like...
I think that was a fine solution for what they ended up with here. But I just, I don't think that's like amazing or anything. No, I wasn't like blown away. Like every time I get to do that, it's like, okay, kind of back to this, as opposed to, and I'm trying not to do the direct comparison to previous Metroid Prime games, because this ended up just being a very different thing. And I don't know how useful it is to be like, it wasn't what I wanted. It's not what I wanted, but for what it is, even on that level, I think they kind of only just scraped by being acceptable and into something that is kind of okay and good.
Okay. I think with me, and I don't think I dislike it maybe as much as Jeff.
And I'm on the final boss, just to like clarify.
Okay, wow. And I'm halfway through the ice area, so I'm not nearly as far as Jeff. Even
maybe
I'm
like halfway-ish.
Yeah, I'm like halfway-ish. The thing that's like sticking out to me the most as the problem with the game, again, Mackenzie. Look, I don't think he's some big problem. When he says things like "booyah," it is a detriment to my enjoyment. For
that's
sure.
Like once though, for the record.
I can get over it. I get over it, but it's like who the hell signed off on having a character say "booyah" in a Metroid game? But yeah, like the kind of dungeon aspect of these things. It'd be one thing if the dungeons even felt a little bit more like a Zelda dungeon in terms of. I think the way to put it is every room I'm in feels like it has two doors. The way I came in and the way I'm supposed to go. And that got a little bit better, even this ice area. But Volt Forge especially, which was this really cool looking area, it was very much just like this room to this room to that room to that room to this room to that room, and then back the way I came. And like a lot of these rooms were even like combat encounters and not necessarily puzzles. I wasn't noticing a lot of like, okay, this is like, oh, there's a missile expansion here, and I'll come back here with this power. A little bit of that. But compared to, Metroid Prime 1, even Metroid Prime 2, which I played recently, and how many rooms felt like kind of like spoken wheel, like, oh man, there's like 4 different exits here, and this room connects back to this room, goes to this area, and there's like 3 things here in this like one area that I can't access yet right now. And I think having the levels connect better with each other, like in a Prime 1 or Prime 2, I do think that just works better for this kind of game than having this large kind of motorcycle area, which I like being on the motorcycle. I don't necessarily think that siphoning off these areas into their own little microcosms did anything positive for the formula.
They would be better if they were interlocked and sort of overlapping. But like that's not the game they made. So even in the areas themselves, though, there's not a lot of that. Like just intra level. There's not a lot of examples of being like, all right, I'm kind of poking around and coming up with ideas about what I can do over here. And that's like, if you want to know what you're supposed to be doing with any sort of obstacle, scan it, and it's basically just going to tell you. And I know there's some of that in the previous games, but it feels like here it's like that last line of dialogue or text in the box when you scan it. It's just going to tell you the weapon you need to go get to do this. So you kind of stop coming up with ideas and stuff like that. I mean, that's been my experience. And then like really the scanning was also kind of disappointing, where it's like, I want to be able to like scan these bosses and feel like, oh, okay, because I scanned the boss, now a new weak point has been exposed to me. But it's like, no, now it's the same thing. I just read some details about it, and it's these giant glowing orbs on the bosses that you're supposed to hit that are obvious from the beginning of the fight. It's just, I don't know, feels very bandaged together in a lot of ways.
I feel like the scanning was, you're right with a lot of them. Like it doesn't like expose like, oh, here's the hint to beating him or whatever. But like that is there at times where it's like there's that one late in the game that is like a spider type thing that's like scrambling around on the walls. And I didn't realize until it's like, oh, how do I get him off the walls? And then scanning it, and it's like, oh, it said something about its limbs. And I was like, oh, okay, great. I can break off the reticle and I can shoot its limbs, knock it down.
Definitely some examples like that, for sure.
Also the scanning things that telling you specifically what to use. That is in other Metroid games. They just use a proper noun. Like they will always use like bendium. Oh, this is made out of bendium or whatever the hell it is.
You know what?
And that's the power bomb proper noun. So it's the same thing, just presented differently.
Yeah, right. I guess maybe I like that layer of obscurity, but that's not the problem with the game for sure.
Sean, I can feel. Oh, Backler, please, and then Sean. I'd like to hear.
I kind of agree. I'm probably in the middle of like Grub and Mike a little bit. It's just a little like uninspired in I guess a sort of a surprising way that I really enjoyed that hour playthrough at the preview, and look, I'm having fun playing this game. I think it's surprisingly more linear than I was expecting as well. Just going off piggybacking on what you're saying there, Grub. I think it's just, is it boring? It's boring. It's kind of boring.
I'll say I haven't been blazing through it like I thought I would. I don't know if I'd say it's boring, but I haven't been jumping back in like I thought I would.
Like I have a feeling where I'm like, oh, I want to see this through, and I do think places like Vault Forge are like super cool, like really striking areas. Just a bit kind of to maybe like a little empty and sort of, it just feels like there's stuff missing.
Again, like her abilities are also like doled out in a very predictable way. They don't like that's another thing that makes me feel like this was a very different game at one point. They sort of had to scale back to just the core things that wouldn't break things too much. But yeah, she gets her double jump early on. She gets the
psychic jump.
Yeah,
psychic glass. Even that kind of gestures are right, Jeff. At like something more with like all this psychic stuff, which doesn't really present itself in any meaningful gameplay changes. The most interesting is very early on that charge shot that you can kind of move around in slow-mo, and I like that. That's really neat.
Like 10 times in the game,
right. But I haven't outside of that, I haven't really gotten anything else here that feels kind of new.
There's not a lot. I mean, there's stuff where you can scan and the platforms will reveal themselves and everything, but that's nothing crazy. Like as far as like the boring thing, like I'm so quick to be bored if a game isn't doing something to grab me. And like, granted, I'm in that nebulous kind of review, playing through it quickly for embargo type thing that kind of throws everything askew at times. But I played that game for like 14 hours one Saturday, and it's like I did not get remotely bored, but maybe that's just me.
I just think the moment of pressing the buttons is fantastic. So it's like you do
and that
something,
does a lot for me,
Right, and me too. And so it's like at the end of the day, I'm like, there's still a lot of this game I like. I will say, like, thinking back to the reviews of like the high highs and low lows, I don't feel like I saw many high highs. Like, I just don't. I was like not ever in a situation where I got a new ability and had that Metroidvania feeling of like, oh my God, the world is so open. Instead, it was, here is a laundry list of doors that I can now unlock. And I know that's a subtle distinction, but it is a distinction with a difference. The great Metroid games, the great Metroidvania games, find a way to just propel you forward when you have a new thing that can really unlock your ability set and the world. In this game wasn't doing that for me.
Now,
there's the
Sean,
occasional one, like, you know, you get the psychic boost ball, and, you know, there's the part in Volt Forge where you go down and it's like, okay, well, what can I do here? And it's like, oh my God, it makes like this spirit track basically that I can go from one tower to another. Like, that was unexpected in a way. But you're right. There's not a ton of like, whoa, this is totally a new feeling, you know?
The flinging with the ball was actually, that was a top tier move.
That's fun,
actually.
yeah.
Now, Sean, I think you may be the biggest Metroid fan, and I'm going to assume that based off of your purchases from the Nintendo store when we went there in New York.
What do you mean?
He bought that whole section.
Everything. One of
That
everything.
was awesome. That was awesome. I don't think I realized until I watched the vlog. I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm piecing it together based off of all the other teas I've seen Sean wear on podcasts of like, huh.
Every Metroid amiibo and every collector's edition is off camera there, yeah.
So I'm very curious to hear your perspective.
Yeah, I'm throwing my head into ring here. I do think I'm the biggest Metroid series fan here at the site. Like, Grub and Mike are definitely bigger fans of Super. I know y'all have a huge love of Metroid Prime 1. But I love all of what Metroid is, the ups and the downs, because we've been through a few downs at this point. And so I know that Metroid comes in a few different flavors. There is the original 2D Metroid, and then they moved into a slightly different flavor of 2D Metroid. There's Prime 1, which Prime 2 is kind of like, and then 3 went off in a different direction, as is Hunters. And like, even if you don't think it's good, Other M is another flavor. We have all these different types of Metroid. So I know that Metroid is not one thing. Metroid is not just isolationist. It's not just exploration. It can be a few different things. That's why I implored people to check out Metroid Prime 3 in some way before checking this game out, because this project, you know, started as one thing, then Nintendo took it back and gave it to Retro. And there was no way that Retro was going to just ditch everything that they did before and not follow up Prime 3 with Prime 4. And that's what Prime 4 is. It's a variation on the Prime formula that they had developed. And that in itself is a variation on the original Metroid formula. They are not the same thing. They are different. So I went to this game very open-minded, thinking it's going to be a little different. And we can even see that from the preview coverage, from all the reviews that came out. This is going to be a slightly different flavor of Metroid, as we've had a few times at this point. So I tried to come to the game on its own terms. It's going to be a little different than some people are expecting, but it's me what I was expecting. And so I'm going to judge it on what it is, not what other people expect it to be, or even my own expectations after 18 years. So what is there? Do I think it's good? I will say, in large part, I agree with Dan's review, just like a notch down. I was like a little less interested, a little less excited than him. Like, he said he was hovering between like 4.5, 5 stars while playing it. I was hovering between like 4 and 4.5. I think this is a very, very good game, but I do think that I dislike some of the lows more than Dan did, so I do fall on the lower side. I would probably give this game 4 stars if I was putting a review on it, because I do think it is a little more linear. Metroid Prime is linear. If you actually look at the maps, they're not as interconnected as 2D Metroid is, because it's very hard to interweave 3D spaces like that. And once they start to move towards separate planets and everything, like you have in Prime 3, things dig you a little. You enter one room, you have 3 options. One is probably a save room, and then there's 2 branching paths. One is probably a missile upgrade. That's kind of the formula here. That's what it turned into, because Prime 1 is a different game. Prime 1 followed up Super Metroid, so it is more exploration driven. And this is following up Prime 3, which is more cinematic and everything. I think what's there is very good. There are incredible moments, like, you know, you guys brought Volt Forge. And frankly, entering Volt Forge, the Killer Instinct theme is blaring at you, and just you see some awesome visuals, and you get Viola, and it's a really cool moment. Even something as like different for Metroid as like doing sort of like time trials on a bike. It's cool because guess what? Samus Aaron is a bounty hunter.
Hey,
She's
she
the
looks cool.
single coolest person in the galaxy. They gave her the coolest method of transportation, and it's awesome. There's moments in there that are very, very good. And I think about things like with the rest of the Federation troopers, I think about how there are moments where they geek out over Samus because, yeah, you're just some grunt in the military and the literal coolest person in existence shows up out of pure chance to help you. Why have they not done a gag like that where someone geeks out? Like, I love Armstrong. I love the fact that she's like, hey,
Me too.
Stars, he's doing morph ball. He's like, yeah, I see it. Calm down, trooper. Like, you know, there's cute moments like that where I actually like kind of laughed a little because as a Metroid nerd, I'm like, oh, she's me. I'm like, Samus is doing morph ball. Y'all see that? I think there's a lot of cool moments in there. I think the troopers are good. I think the highs, all the set pieces that are in there are very good. But I think about I played Dispatch now twice recently.
Oh,
I do think about Robert's speech in that about potential. And that was going through my mind as I was playing Metroid Prime 4. I was thinking about how potential is the thing people talk about when you leave the room and they say, you had so much potential. And that's how I think of Metroid Prime 4. I think this could have been more. They had more here. They just really needed to dial things in more. I think it falls a little short. Like the desert. Desert's pretty boring. I'll be real. Like, it was fine for most of the game. Then they do something at the end of the game where you need to spend a lot of time out there to finish the game.
And that's
to be
boring. Clear, because I heard that and I was like, yeah, but like a lot of these games have a hunt at the end of the game where you use all your abilities and stuff like that. And that's
I
not
like the
what's
key
happening.
hunt. Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
this. This
That's
is
If we're talking the
this.
green crystal thing, it's like I don't know if I just
And
had
the-
it easier on
and the
that because
parts.
I made a point early on to just like I am just in between everything. I was spending a good amount of time cruising
too.
around whatever shrines I could unlock, you know, getting as many green crystals as I could. So like I totally see if it was like a Wind Waker-esque thing at the end where it's like now you got to do a bunch of horseshit for like 4 hours. I probably would have been pissed off, but I think I was just in a good spot by the end.
About
you
that,
know?
Dan. So
I mean, I think I was just at a good spot by the end, you know,
Yeah, the
unless
thing
you're
is, I
talking
think-
about the other thing you have to get.
well,
Both.
okay.
Yeah.
So
That doesn't take too long, I don't think.
No,
This
no,
is in
it,
pre-
it, went, it went quicker than I thought. Real quick, I'll let you get back to it, Sean. And I just want to
Okay.
say what happened with me. I also did the same thing with getting all the green crystals all along the way, and that definitely softened the blow. That's also not
Yes.
the core of my problems with this game.
okay.
yeah, I'm finishing my thoughts here because I know I've been going on a
No,
bit
please
long.
go.
But
No.
You're good.
the MacGuffin that you need to finish the game, it's in all the preview and review footage, so I'll mention it. The memory fruit. That's what you get by getting all the green crystals. There's a problem, like Grub was saying, there's structural problems with this game.
Yeah.
That's one of them. Where like if you're going through the desert and everything, you're getting the green crystals as you go from place to place. I actually think that's really fun. I like riding around Viola, power sliding into crystals and stuff and then attacking enemies. It's pretty cool. But the problem is the game forcing me to do something that is extremely arbitrary because you need to gather X amount of green crystals in order to finish the game. And that's one of those things that like drop the game down for me is because that like, yes, this is not Metroid. It's Metroid Prime, but even that is not Metroid Prime in any of its forms. The artifact hunt is you going back through various other places, using your new abilities, solving new puzzles,
Feeling like the
getting new
master of the
upgrades.
world, yeah, and all that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is how they adapted the 2D Metroid formula into 3D, and it went very well. The problem here is just they're like, gather X amount. And it's even structured backwards where the last reward you get, I don't mind saying this because the last rewards you get is a radar that makes gathering them easier. Why was that not the first thing you get?
Yep.
So the game has issues. I see it as like the Metroid fusion of Metroid Prime,
I do
where
too.
it is, they're doing some incredible things here. There's some awesome ideas. It just has some flaws that hold it back for me, keep it down a little bit. But you know, this is also the fourth game in a series, just like Fusion was. And with 5, with 2D Metroid, that's where they really dialed things in and arguably made the best one. I'm hoping that, look, right now, I think we have like a great game overall for what it is. But I hope that the next one is just they learn everything that they got wrong and could have done better. And the next one is a much better game.
Yeah, if there's the next one. You know, and just kind of go back to like the Metroid Prime 3 thing. Like, you know, I played some of 3 and I think I dropped it because I kind of was like, I think most of the changes here just make this worse than Metroid Prime 1. So, yeah, I get that. Yeah, this is, you know, the sequel to Metroid Prime 3 chronologically, but I assumed after all this time there would maybe be a bit of a, we should be making our games more like Metroid Prime 1 and less like Metroid Prime 3, right? I guess, that was just an assumption going in on what I kind of thought, everybody would be excited about, would be interested in. Or if not that, find some other kind of avenue. Because, Metroid Prime 3, I did not like having separate planets because, again, it's, each of these places feel more insular. And we kind of have that with this sort of dungeon setup this time around.
Yeah,
but
it's a balancing act, right?
It's a balancing act, yeah.
Having the cinematics, like, look, I know some of this core audience, like our audience, may not want to admit this. PlayStation games sell for a reason. The cinematic Last of Us's and Horizons and stuff, God of Wars, they sell for a reason. People eat that stuff up, and that's, I assume, in a boardroom, why they would have continued in that direction from.
They
Prime
did a good
3
job with
into
it,
Prime
actually.
4.
The characters are great. I liked them by the end.
The crew's great.
What's the name of the robot? View 995 or something?
There's a robot?
Oh, that guy's cool. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, he's
We got
That's
good to
spoiler.
go, Mike.
It's all right.
He's good
Oh.
stuff. I really think that Armstrong is fantastic as well. I liked all those characters by the end. Was happy to have them with me, like fighting alongside them in a lot of cases. That stuff, well done. I think, it is. I'm not a dispassionate observer here. When I go into a game like this that I'm really looking forward to, Metroid Prime 1, my number 2 favorite game of all time. I have a list. I looked at it before I started playing this game. Like, yeah, there it is, right next to it, right behind Breath of the Wild. When I go into a game like this, it is very much like I want to fanboy out. I want to find a way to like this game. So halfway through, I'm sort of resetting expectations, and I'm like letting go of wanting Metroid Prime and be like, this is clearly mostly a Zelda game. They're trying to make it a little bit more like Zelda. I think however they came to that, whatever. I don't care how they came to that. That's what I'm playing now. And I think even on those terms, for me, it's like a okay-ish like Zelda spinoff.
I will say just real quick, for some people who are surprised it would be Zelda, I got some news for you all about how close Metroid and Zelda have always been.
I
definitely leans more towards
guarantee
Zelda
you could go back and find a tweet from me in like 2009 being here like Metroid and Zelda are the same genre. Like I've been saying that for years. This is the game that made me realize there are some important differences, but again, that's not what I'm judging this on. I am judging on what's there. By the end I was not having fun for a vast majority of that game.
I do think, to the Zelda point, I agree, but I think you see it as them trying to do their version of Breath of the Wild, and I saw it as Ocarina.
No, I see that they failed at doing Breath of the Wild, so they sort of retreated to Ocarina. That's what I think happened here. And again, that is not a judgment call. That is me trying to sort of be a detective here and figure out what happened. That is also I'm judging it on it being an Ocarina game at this point.
Mm-hmm. I do want to talk a bit about what I really like about this game, because I think there are some highs for me, and a lot of them are aesthetic, because the game is absolutely gorgeous. The music is, once again, just all timer stuff.
Yeah.
The areas themselves are really cool. Like, Voteforge looks awesome. The ice area, I love that they went with this kind of the thing, like underground ice cavern research facility, as opposed to the Phendrana drifts, kind of more open ice thing. So you have a good differentiation there.
It's gorgeous,
even because some of the lore
ice
stuff,
is gorgeous.
It's the game is just gorgeous on a technical and artistic level. Yeah, like pushing the buttons and all that stuff does feel very good. I even like the boss fights. I think something like playing Metroid Prime 2 recently, a lot of those boss fights, it's a lot of like, all right, game, what do you want me to do here exactly? And it's a little bit obtuse, and you kind of flail around for a while. Even like Super Metroid, I kind of like, the bosses shoot them with missiles, right? Like, I kind of like how un-Zelda-y they were. And, there's still a bit of a puzzle aspect here, but it's also like, shoot them, dodge their attacks. I think that feels pretty good.
Yeah, I do think on the areas, I think this is the strongest lineup of areas in maybe any Metroid game. Like
in terms of like their actual like setting and the ideas.
Yeah, the
behind
setting,
them, agree,
the vibes, the music all coming together, and even some of the elemental gimmicks. Like, so Mike, are you only part of the way through Ice Belt?
I just turned on the power generator.
Ice Belt, I think after that point, like solidifies as maybe my favorite area in Metroid game. It
just stays strong
fantastic.
the whole time. Yeah,
It's such a good idea, and that's what the game needed. The game just needed more of those ideas solidifying and shining through. It just feels like so much of it is half baked is the problem. Like you almost got there, but the lineup of areas is very cool, and I think they just need to do more with it and maybe shrink some other things like the desert.
I don't know. I don't know if they're using like photogrammetry or whatever, but just like the rocks sitting in the lava with the big sort of machinery on top of it. They cooked with the art in this game. They really did.
Yeah, just technically, just absolutely mind blowing. So, I'm like halfway through, so I'm still not sure where I land. I think I'm kind of, even with some of the negative stuff said, I think I'm still kind of at a 4 out of 5 right now. I still am enjoying it, but there's maybe my big takeaway is like, boy, once again, just sure it's hard to make a sequel to Metroid Prime. It's hard to live up to the actual standards and the standards of where I do put that game in my head a little bit, I suppose, as kind of being this just monolith.
It's all expectation, like it's hard to make a follow-up to Metroid Prime no matter how many entries removed from it we are. It's hard to make a follow-up to Super Metroid no matter how many entries we are removed from that. It's always going to be difficult to follow up the legacy, the expectations. Rob, I think this was a proper word to use when you've described the baggage of the Metroid series. You can't have two of the highest regarded games of all time without having a super critical eye on it at all time. If you have even the smallest misstep, people are going to call it out. And it's fair, because I'm glad this conversation we've had is less about, is it Metroid? Because that's the thing that bothered me all throughout like the preview period and everything, was people saying this isn't Metroid. Metroid can be a lot of things. Like, calm down. Don't hold down such a pedestal that's sacred. Just let's talk about, do we like it or not? If you don't like it, that is completely valid. Everyone's allowed to have their opinion. And if it didn't hit, it didn't hit. I think for me, it hit somewhere in the middle. And I think we have a pretty wide range of how we all feel about this game. And that's interesting.
Yeah, and I don't even fundamentally disagree with like anything anyone on this call has said. Like, I mean, I think these are all valid things. I just don't think most of them really were enough to bring down my overall experience and enjoyment of the game. Like, things Grub says about the overworld and the structure and stuff, I totally understand. The guy saying booyah, yeah, I don't love that, but ultimately it didn't really affect my enjoyment of just the Metroid of it all, So yeah, I do like kind of the wide array of opinions here.
I will say, just when I was halfway through Vote Forge, I thought out loud to myself, I don't think Jeff's gonna like this game.
I could tell the moment that it really hit me was I think maybe getting to like 75% through the game, one of the new main areas, and realizing it's like, okay, every single one of these areas, the save spot is right at the beginning when you walk in. There's maybe one other save spot in the entire area. This is not some maze. And Sean, I agree with you that Prime 1 sort of fakes it. But faking it is important. Like making me feel that way.
It's a presentation thing, which is what this game is lacking sometimes. Like, as gorgeous as it is, the music is good.
I go back to feeling bandaged together. Like, I think that it's a miracle that this game ever even came out and that it's as good as it is. Because I bet if we got any, like, this is the game I'm most curious to hear what happened. Because I bet we would hear horror stories and just like things falling apart, and they being like, I don't think we're going to be able to finish this game. We have to delay it just to make something here that looks kind of like a good game. And the fact that people are able to, I mean, God, they had a good game underneath. The way it plays is so good. I bet they're like, we're so close. If we could just clasp it together, and what they ended up clasping together is acceptable in most cases.
Yeah, it's funny that Mike brought up, like, knowing that moment of like, oh, Grub's not going to be into this, like, once these things happen. Because I also had probably the flip side moment of that, where, a moment happens later on in the game where I'm like, oh, I realize what this is. You're playing a Metroid cutscene. The beginning of Fusion, like when Samus is on missions with the Federation, like the beginning of Super, when she's like checking in with them and like gets into some trouble.
It does feel like
that's what you're playing right now. And that's where,
does feel like an intro. The whole game.
Like, as a geek for all the lore, reading the manga and stuff and getting hung up on all these different things, that's where I'm like, oh, this is so cool for me. But I also think this is why a lot of people aren't going to like it, because again, that's not what you want on Metroid, and I get that and I respect that.
It feels like a side story, like the even the stakes. I'm like, we're just teleporting out of here. That's what's going on. There's no like. Maybe there was some other like threat that I was. Obviously, Silex is here doing his thing, but like he also just seems like he wants to stop me from teleporting back home. It's so weird.
You still haven't actually finished it, right? You're just like at the end.
I'm fighting a man who is transforming into the various elements right now. So yeah,
Avatar. I want to hear your thoughts on the ending, because I like this game a lot. Boy, I didn't like the ending.
We'll talk about the
All
ending
right.
when we're off air. 'cause
We got that
that's
to look
awesome,
forward to, Grub.
Hooray!
Folks, I love having lengthy conversations about video games, but I got to take a quick break. We got more games to talk about on the other side, as well as the news. We'll see you right after this.
All right, dog. It's time to start the show. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, dude, I'm ready.
No, Grub. You look like you are in a den of inequity right now.
I don't know what that means, and I don't know what you want. It's not like I have a home studio, Jan.
Yes, you do. The computers that Main Gear built for us have NVIDIA GeForce RTX GPUs in them, and with the NVIDIA Studio drivers and NVIDIA Broadcast, you can turn even your man cave into a professional studio. Using Broadcast, you can upgrade your webcams, microphones, and speakers using the power of machine learning to take our shows, voice chats, and video conferences to the next level. You can use audio effects like noise removal.
Oh, yeah, I guess I have the fan on. Well, it's hot. I'm not going to turn that off. Let me just hit this right here. Is that any better, Jan?
Much better. We can clean up your shot with auto frame and video noise removal, and Grub, you can even make it look like you are paying attention using the eye contact tool.
So I could still watch my stories?
Yes, you can. NVIDIA Broadcast is a universal plugin that works with most live streaming, voice chat, and video conferencing apps. It's supported on any NVIDIA GeForce RTX GPU. And since I'm using the NVIDIA Studio drivers, I'll get stable optimized performance in Adobe Photoshop, DaVinci Resolve, and all the other apps that I need to use to fix our mistakes in post.
You know what? Thank you to Main Gear and NVIDIA for supplying our NVIDIA Studio PCs. NVIDIA Broadcast, your AI-powered home studio, and NVIDIA Studio, the software advantage for all creators. Jan, I'm not even looking at the camera at all right now.
Grub, stop looking at me.
I haven't looked at you forever.
And we are back. We have emptied our energy tanks from the various liquids that are contained in them. And we're still talking about games. Mike Minotti, you are on a quest to also finish off some miscellaneous games. And I'm curious to hear what your opinion is on Dispatch.
Yep. Tons of buzz for this one. Everyone's been talking about it. You all, my brothers, everyone in the industry. It seems I know because I'm so online. I know what the buzz is about in the video game community. So yeah, I played through episode 1, and definitely understand why people are getting attached to this one. It has tons of style. It just looks good. It presents so well. I think Aaron Paul is fantastic as the main character. I think the main character could have so easily been this kind of like dopey himbo guy, and instead he's kind of capable and, I don't know, interesting, and I like him. I actually really liked the dispatching. It's pretty small. It's a pretty small part of episode 1, but I was like, ooh, it's like, yeah, I could send 2 people out and like really make sure I complete the mission. But then the timers are a little rough on these other missions, and even like
it escalates nicely too over the season. They get a little bit more complicated, not crazy, but they get and it's all in the right way of like challenging the core mechanic of understanding what this mission wants without it explicitly saying it.
Right. Like the QTE stuff, which you can turn on or off, even though I like having that interaction. Part of me is like, should I just turn these off? Because it's not much. But
in the first 2 minutes, when you have to like zip up your suit and pull down the mask, I was like, oh, I'm turning these off. These had nothing.
I'll say it's really good for streaming because there's nothing better than a streamer being caught off guard and being like, oh shit, everyone loves that.
Oh yeah, when you were dancing in one of those scenes, I saw Grub. It's like, oh crap, I had to do QTE there.
Or I accidentally didn't like fist bump a roid, and I had to like live with that nightmare the whole time. Yeah.
I kissed Blonde Blazer. I kissed her. No one could stop me.
Yeah, we all did.
You're in so much trouble.
We all do. Yeah.
I was surprised because the game told me like only like 56% people kissed her. I'm like, is that it?
I bet that's going to be a little skewed by replays at this point of people who have canonically chosen.
What happens if you don't?
Yeah.
Also, please, she's like, oh, we're going to get drinks and you're going to spit in my mouth and it's not a date. Like, oh my God.
How do you feel about the language, the sort of the way the characters talk to one another? This has become a little bit of point of contention online. I'm a fan of it.
It's, me, it's like a little TV-y, and of course it is. That's what they're going for. It's everybody's pretty clever, right? Because clever people are writing things, right?
Yeah, and it's not just that. It's like people are like, oh, there's too many like dick jokes and stuff like that. These characters talk to one another, and go ahead.
I mean, to be clear, real people do talk like that. Dicks come up all the time.
Exactly.
Welcome to this website.
Do come up all the time.
Yeah.
The clitoris all day.
Yeah.
Now, I don't generally like things like Invincible, or I would never. The Boys seems completely repulsive to me. This isn't,
and that's because of the
It's
violence in it, right, Mike?
the hyper violence. It's a little bit of the hypersexualization as well, I suppose. I don't know. It just all kind of becomes a little much to me. The cynicism more than anything,
Sure.
I suppose, about it. And there's a bit of that stuff here. Like, if you ask me what's my favorite genre, I don't think that kind of cynical, flipped on its head superhero stuff is necessarily my thing. But this is being done well. It looks really good. I am curious to see where it goes.
I'm glad
just real quick, in
that
defense of Invincible, that's about seeing through positivity through cynicism. But yeah, I get what
All
you
right,
mean.
I understand.
Yeah, I know. I have to defend my boy.
I like that Mike is hooked on episode 1, because I would say, man, it doesn't get really good until episode 3. I would say, because the first one introduces the main character and the main other character, and then 2 introduces the rest of the crew. 3 is like where you see what the game really turns into.
Yeah,
and it really gets rolling after that. And man, it goes places. I do really, really like the dispatching gameplay in here, because that's the thing I always didn't like about the Telltale games is the lack of gameplay. They went for more of an old school adventure game style, kind of just you walk a character around, you pick up maybe a key or something. Like, there's not much to play there. You kind of are just watching and then making all the decisions. And it's cool that the decisions matter. But this actually has a real game in there. The management of the dispatching, I think, is really fun, and the strategy of it all.
Yeah.
It's an evolved version of Brotherhood's, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood stuff.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
Even if this was ripped out and its own thing, I would be like, oh, the dispatching gameplay is very fun. But the fact that's in there, they interweave it into the story in some really creative ways. I thought some fun ways. I love Dispatch so much. Yeah, I'm doing a second playthrough with my friends now over Parsec. We just passed the controller, and this is something my group of friends loves to do with this kind of game is everyone shouts what they want the person holding the controller to do. And it's a little fun, a little panicky.
Yeah, it's great.
And then someone locks in a decision. We all have to live with it. It's a fun time, and it's a fun way to play that game. And yeah, I love this game. This is towards the top of the list for me this year.
Yeah.
Excited to play more of it.
I hope you do, Mike. I hope you stick with it at least through episode 4.
4 is the one where you're going to know for sure. By then. Yeah. And, they're an hour long, right?
That's
these
when
episodes?
you see 5 dicks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
finally.
Yeah.
Collect them all.
Yeah, collect them all.
Taste the rainbow.
Taste the rainbow and Tingus the goose. Dan, Grub, what are we doing here?
We don't know.
We don't know. I don't even say we don't like it, because that seems like a value call on if the game is good or not. I don't know, Grub. Is this game good?
Oh, we are so far away from being able to assess it on that level.
Okay, hold. But before y'all
Let's just
continue
describe what's
on,
happening.
but before y'all
Yes,
continue
try
on,
to.
the vibe that I'm getting from y'all is when you originally brought up Tingus Goose is the scene in Step Brothers when John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell asked their parents, "Can we build bunk beds?" Because there was a level of excitement and curiosity to it. And now I feel like the bunk beds have fallen on you guys. And maybe the Tingus Goose isn't what it's meant to be.
The bunk beds are growing other living bunk beds off of the things, the studs that hold it up and stuff like that. It's weird.
If you want to do a movie reference, Jan, I think it's like in Naked Gun, the new one, when the bad guy's looking through the thermal goggles and it looks like Liam Neeson is fucking the dog. And the guy goes, I don't like this. We are that guy right now. It's
and the thing is, every time we look back through the thermal goggles, something different weird is happening.
It's getting worse.
It's getting worse. Yeah.
What do you do in Tingus Goose?
Babies get born out of a...
It's an idle game.
You guys say vagina?
Say the word.
Well, no, they don't.
I mean the clitoris.
Okay.
That's not where they come from.
They burst out of like a stomach, I think, and then they're like constantly. The babies are constantly bouncing out, and if you click on the babies enough, a bunch of coins will come out, and then the baby will explode into body parts. But if you don't click on the baby will bounce around and go into a coin slot, and I think you still get some money. Maybe
It goes into a
not all the
piggy
money.
bank,
Goes
and
into a
it's like
piggy
it's
bank.
fine if the babies explode because you get to keep the money.
Yeah,
Right.
that's why I moved on. It did not matter that they exploded. Yes.
Yeah.
So then you take that money, and then you invest it in your goose that has been born out of this lady's stomach. And it's the neck is continuing to grow vertically, but then you can grow new stems, like new branches off of this goose neck that are new goose heads or other things. And I'll say right around then is where I'm like, whoa, what do I? To what end is kind of what I thought to myself, and I did not get an answer really.
It's nonstop just birthing things, this game, and it's just a lot. Like I always heard that video in junior high that everyone had to watch, but me was really gross. It's just like if it's a lot of that, the game, and it's just idly happening around you. Yeah,
it's a beautiful miracle, is what it is.
Never seen it, never will. Don't know what that whole situation looks like.
Way more fluid than you would think.
It's so interesting that you just like cosmically were absent that day.
I skipped a lot of class. Yeah. I didn't intend to, but I don't know what it looks like for a thing to be born, and I probably will never know.
Can you skip class in high school?
Dude, I mean, you can.
I mean, you can. You just walk out and drive to Funkoland and play Symphony of the Night for a while.
Wait, Mike, are you? You gotta unpack that question a little bit there.
You just walk out. Mike, you just walk out of the well, and get in your car.
Care?
That's all you do.
Don't they care? I maybe would have done it more, but I assumed they would have stopped me.
Sometimes you do it sneaky like, and sometimes you have, look, I had a lot of ways to do it.
I want to say it's probably different
and
now.
A lot of Saturday schools. So, yes, they did care.
Yeah, I want to say it's maybe different now a little bit. When we were in high school, it seemed very easy to do. Also, you're just like the goodest boy ever.
I'm a good boy. Is it possible that perhaps they gave up on Dan at a certain point?
You want to know how much of a cool bad boy I was? I would skip school, and when I got away, I would put in WWF The Music Volume 3 and play the Degeneration X theme because I was being a rebel.
Yeah.
Wow. You didn't go to Catholic high school, right?
No, just until 5th grade. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So anyway, the duck there, you can make a birthing canal on the goose neck, and then you could make another. You can make another goose branch underneath that has a bunch of tiny fingers that point straight up, and the baby goes directly into those fingers, explodes, and you get the money very quickly. And it's sort of like an infinite money factory.
Stop.
Well, I don't know how much longer y'all are going to be playing Tingus Goose. It sounds, based off of how y'all are parsing it out, it sounds unbeatable. But something that is actually unbeatable is unbeatable.
Motherfucker.
Hey!
You have been checking this out. I think this is a highly Sean anticipated game.
Highly Sean.
Oh yes. Yeah, speaking of games I've been waiting a long time for. This one not as long. This has been like 4 years or so since they did a Kickstarter to get this game funded. But I've just been waiting to play this game ever since they announced it. My elevator pitch for Unbeatable has always been Fooly Cooly the game. If you like that sort of late 90s, early 2000s anime where like some cool shit happens and you don't know why, but it's got great music and it's music themed. There you go. That's this game. It's a little hard to describe precisely what it is, but I think the easiest way is to break down what the gameplay itself is, which is Paper Mario walking around, flat 2D character that's animated walking around a 3D space. And then when you get into combat, which doesn't happen often. It's not like an RPG combat, but it does happen almost like beat 'em up style, because this is a world where, hey, music is outlawed. The incident happened, and now we can't do music, and you're sort of piecing together, why the hell did this happen? And so naturally, because it's outlawed, and you're the girl with the guitar, well, in this case, a microphone stand, you beat up the cops left and right.
Yeah.
And that's the combat in this game. You get in there, and it's a like Guitar Hero rock band style notes coming down paths. Instead of being vertical, it is horizontal. It's just 2 lanes. They do something interesting with that, where the notes are either, just like you hit to the rhythm, and there's hold notes and there's rapid hit notes when you're like punching people. But then when there's like some of the more fooly cooly of it all, the more like supernatural weird stuff, sometimes instead the combat is with just like these creatures that pop up, these little gremlin things, and they do fun things where you hit the high note or the bottom note with 2 buttons on your controller. Well, if you hit a high note and it's like the blue note, there's physics on it, and so it like gets popped up, and then on the next beat you have to hit on the low note, and so there's like all these visual cues that you're doing. Yeah, and that's the combat, is you play like a portion of a song rhythm game style. But then there's all these other things too, like mini games are abundant, and it's very rhythm heaven, where like the first time you look at it, there's like a beat, like dot dot dot, hey, and you're like, wait, what? And then it's like dot dot dot, and like it'll be baseball, and you're like, oh, I hit the ball on the beat, and then it's like that's the mini game. It ramps up, it gets harder. Then next thing you know, later on, they use that to have like, oh, cop drones are flying at you, and it's like dot dot dot, hey, and you whack the drone out of the air. It
Cool.
builds in that way. It's a very special game, because like I think this is one where like if you go to the Steam page now, you look at it, you're probably gonna know if you want to play this or not. You know if it's your
I want to play it
thing or not.
It looks so good. The art is amazing.
Yeah, it's all like hand drawn on like PS1 poly graphics. Like it's really cool. I would say, especially like from this group, I would call it like Grub, Jan, and Jerf. I would love to see like what you guys think of it. And
I'm excited.
Like if it's up your alley too. Yeah, it's very, very interesting.
It reminds me of that mini game I had to play in the Back to the Future NES game on Arcade Pit that one time.
Sure, you were good at that.
Hey, by the way, shouts out
just
to Arcade Pit. They had a big anniversary over the weekend.
10th anniversary.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a little bit of jank, unfortunately, to the point of being noticeable. And maybe it's because, developing this game during the pandemic and everything sort of slowed down a smaller team. But it's just enough to be noticeable, which is unfortunate. They do it like, I hadn't played a version of this game with voice acting up until the final release. And so they do a cute thing where like the text will get squiggly or big or scrambled depending on how people are talking, and text boxes will overlap as someone cuts someone off. They tried to also add voice acting to that. I don't think it quite hits. There's a little bit of jank with when voice lines play. There's some bugs in the game every once in a while, and it'll be anything from a small to like a character sprite not loading properly until a couple seconds in, to like one of the big set pieces didn't load for me. And I'm like, am I just waiting until this happens? And then it's like game over because the thing just didn't load and I wasn't playing the actual segment. They have been releasing a bunch of patches in the review period, so like maybe this final version will have a lot of that fixed. I don't know, but just letting people know, because I also quickly glanced at reviews here because this game just came out at the top of the hour, and so the reviews are starting to flow in. I see some other people pointing out, yeah, there's enough jank that was noticeable when we were playing it for review, and it's a little bit longer than I thought. Maybe I misread something. I thought it was 4 to 6 hours, but it's like 6 to 8. So I actually need one more session to finish the game. But again, like right now, just you want to hear some awesome beats, you want to beat up the cops in the process, have this cool anime experience, and it's only like 6 to 8 hours. I think it should be right up your alley, which is, by the way, I neglected to mention the other half of this game, because you know how I mentioned that there's rhythm game for like the combat?
Yeah.
They made what they call arcade mode, and it's just a rhythm game. Like you just go through this giant track list, from all these songs that they made for the game, remixes they got, like, friends of the devs and like other like famous video game composers and stuff to do like remixes and stuff.
Nice.
And you can just choose difficulties, and like there's leaderboards and stuff like that. There's just an entire rhythm game contained within this game that has this cool story mode. So yeah, I'm having a blast with it, and it is kind of living up to my expectations for the most part. There's like I said, there's some jank. There's a couple like slower moments than I would like, but overall, I think it's a special game.
Reminds me of an anime version of Backlar. What was that game at Summer Game Fest that had the young kids they had the vignettes and they were sort of like learning lessons and stuff.
The Annapurna thing.
Mixtape. Yes. This is giving me like anime mixtape vibes. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Next game, before we get to the news here, we've talked about this at length at this point, but I'm curious to see if you boys have any other new jazz to talk about with Sectori.
It's the main game I'm playing right now. It's the main game I'm thinking about. It's the game that I have to stop myself from playing at a certain time of night if I think I'm going to be going to bed at any point in the next hour or so, because I will see the shapes in my head.
Yeah. Okay, that was my question.
Yeah. No. It's like,
Do you
I
see the
love
shapes in your
that.
head?
Oh
yes,
no!
Yes, like there are times where Tetris games and Luminous and stuff like that, where it's like I know Geometry Wars did this, and I'm fully
OLED
there.
burning in my brain. Yeah, it's crazy.
My brain and retinas are just filled with fucking shapes, and it is tremendous. Grub, I'm nowhere near your level.
It takes time.
My own level is going up. I've beaten it on the experience mode a couple times now. Now I'm working on challenging because you said that's where, and I can see that's where most of the high scores are. But oh man, it's just tremendous. I'm just yelling as I play it out of joy and frustration. And I had 8 shields and I was on the fucking red thing and died immediately during my best run, and that I'm furious about. And it's quickly climbing my list this year. It is tremendous.
It's such a, I mean, it's like I've said, it's a very light roguelite in that you're going to be unlocking things, but you unlock most of the stuff. Like you have a deck of cards, but you unlock all the cards in that deck after a handful of runs. So really it's a roguelite in that you are learning the game. So it's just an arcade game, but whatever. Mm-hmm. That's like most closely associated with roguelite games these days, of like Spelunky. You need to learn the mechanics of how every little individual thing behaves so that you know how to react and sort of plan and put yourself in the best position to survive. And then once you feel confident, you start coming up with strategies of like, if I could have dashed like a couple more times there, or if my dash had a little bit more distance, I could have done something different. And then you start stringing those ideas together. And when it all clicks, you do feel like a god, or you feel close to God. It is an ascendant experience for sure.
Do you ever get tempted when it's like, I've got a crazy build going on, I'm pretty deep into a run, it's looking pretty well, but I've got like, okay, my missiles are going crazy right now, and I have 4 missile drones following me around. So there's just purple missiles flying across the screen at all times. And then I get a potential card where it's like, hey, what if we turned all 4 of your shields into missile drones? I'm like,
yes,
I would die immediately, but it would be so fucking cool while I lived.
That's that. I definitely did that a handful of times. Like you're like, at a certain point, I'm like, I'm doing so many of these runs. Why am I not taking risks? Like, the reward could be very high. And I do think on my run, I did that early on. And it was like, it gave me 4, I think, missile drones. And that gave me enough survivability that it sort of made up for the fact that I didn't have these shields anymore. And then it's like, okay, so for the next little bit, I'm going to focus on when I can building my shields back up. There's 5 in the bank there if you can get the upgrades for it. And it was like, okay, yeah, I have so much survivability in terms of shooting things down now. As long as I'm paying attention to these things that dash at me, especially from a distance, I'm gonna be okay. And that's where the real last learning click came from. It was, I'm very good now of like clearing plowing the field, of clearing everything in front of me and surviving by just going forward. As soon as something is going to come from a distance, that I really struggled with that. It's like once I started learning some strategies there, it's like, okay, now we're good, and I can take a little bit more risks. And my goal was to get over 10 million. I got just over 10 million points, and I'm very happy with that.
Lovely.
It's an elite company of like Geometry Wars, Robotron, like the best of those type of games.
I mean, it's the sequel to that genre, right? Like this is people who played those games obviously had good ideas for how to evolve it. It's Geometry Wars evolved. Yeah, it really is.
Lovely. Fantastic. Final game during the game segment today. This is another highly anticipated game. Bacalar, I think you may be the most juiced. You've been the most juiced for this. I'm talking about Skate Story.
Pretty juicy. Is it obvious
Very
how moist I appear to be?
Very
sweaty.
You're vibrating is what it is. I can see
Some
it.
would say shimmering.
Yes.
Some would say shimmering.
Coated in the
chromatic.
goat sauce.
You looked like you
Go.
pressed the button to
said
say
it.
that, but you just said that.
I did. I was muted, and I had to unmute myself to make sure I could scream that for you. Yeah, I'll go back on mute now.
It was one of those moments where I felt like I was some sort of like ventriloquist dummy where I opened my mouth, but Mike's voice came out. It was pretty cool. That's not the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Skate Story, baby. Jen, where are you at on this?
Okay, so in the quick look that is now up on the website and on YouTube, I think during our conversation, Bacalar, I was a little bit down on the game. I've since completed it after the quick look, and holy shit,
You're back.
We're so fucking back, baby.
Oh,
Is that because like the vibes and the story like really came together? Like it was a hefty climax that really like delivered on everything that was supposed to happen, or that you felt was supposed to happen, or was it the gameplay really clicked at a certain point?
Honestly, Grub, I'll have what she's having. All of the above over there. I think, and Backlar, you had some fantastic thoughts on the quick look, and I'd like for you to reiterate that over here. But I think Skate Story, I initially wanted this to just be a skating game, and then what it wound up evolving into is perhaps a heavy, shimmery, Faustian deal with skateboarding, and then the association of getting back up and doing the damn thing, whether that is your and through this lens, the passion or the purpose is skating, but that can 100% be applied to so many other things. Visually, this game is incredibly overstimulating in a positive way, and the music, absolutely crazy town bananas because of how it is brilliantly formatted to play along with the levels. The drops in it are absolutely bonkers. It will go from a very ambient sounding angelic track to blaring dubstep mid ollie. There are parts of the game where I still do have a little bit of friction with. I don't enjoy the semi-open level segments as much. I think the grinding in the game could be a little bit better, and maybe that's just because my brain is so attuned to how it is in Tony Hawk. But overall, the story that gets unfolded of you are this demon glass skater hell-bent on consuming the moon, and your journey through hell and your, let's just say, friends that join along the way is great. The overall message and the fonts in this game, y'all. I think this might be the best fonts of the year, Bacalar. I don't want to speak for both of us here, but I think this is a lovely game because this hits the Jan and Bacalar Venn diagram of like immaculate vibes, music, atmosphere, and fonts.
I mean, yeah, you kind of put it perfectly. I mean, just vibes are immaculate, top to bottom. I don't know. On the quick look, we went over this. I am so impressed with how such a singular vision is so perfectly realized in this game. It is unbelievable, and in the way it's presented and the seemingly impossibly small amount of people or person that is involved in the creation of this game is nothing short of a goddamn miracle. I think this has the right amount of consideration for all the things that you would want to do in a game where I'm not, I want to just get lost in this world when I'm playing it, and that was selfishly what I was hoping for with all the trailers and the lead up to this. And it was sending a message of like, oh, is this game like a Tony Hawk but in chromatic hellscape? No, is it sort of something else? And I was kind of hoping it was something else, and that's what it is. And you get out of it what you sort of put into it.
Would you describe like what it is, just real quick, as like kind of like a poem almost, like them trying to set a tone through mechanics and vibes and all that?
It's a bit like almost like a beat poetry kind of thing too, where you're just sort of
abstract
watching, but definitely abstract, definitely just sort of ingesting little chapters and short storytelling moments that don't really are mostly inconsequential, certainly to Jan's point, deliver a positive message. But again, a lot of it is you are going from chapter to chapter in this story about a demon who is assigned to deal with the devil to sort of make his way through the underworld, and
so you can eat the moon.
So many moons. There's many moons that you will consume in this game, and they are by all accounts, delicious.
Yum.
Yeah, so I it is very abstract. It is, there is light skateboarding trick chaining sort of together. I definitely echo Jan's thoughts about the grinding. I do think it is very rewarding when you kind of figure out how you are meant to parlay some of these tricks together. And with the grinding, the move set of tricks that you have is not wildly varied, and I think that forces you to be a bit more creative with how you kind of chain stuff and implement stuff. And you're using these combos and these trick performances to battle bosses. That's how the game sort of is structured. It is very light. Everything is very sort of light and airy about it. It's a very breezy kind of playthrough. The environments are all sort of like New York based, whether it's a subway or sort of an overworld. And you again, like the biggest part of this game for me is like, I know I'm going to play this. I'm going to be visual. It is striking. Everything is so striking. You're so sort of blown away as to like all the particulars that are happening on screen at once. It really is just like a total carnival, right? And I think this game, more so than anything I could really think of in recent memory, is such a product, the sum of all of its little parts, right? I think, if you take one thing and sort of slice it out and examine it, you're like, oh, this is like an interesting mechanic. But I do think the best thing about this game is how when all these ingredients are put into the blender, the thing you get out is this is such a satisfying sort of overall experience. And yeah, I mean, it's, I don't think it's gonna I don't think any of the gameplay specifically is going to blow anyone away. That is not what this game is. This game is mostly the experience, mostly the vibes. And I think when you play this thing, like for me, it's like, this is a thing I don't even understand how to put into words of like the experience of what you're doing. You've never seen anything like this. You've never played really anything like this, and you've never been presented with anything in this sort of way. The music implementation is nothing short. It's like, it's almost perfect. Like seriously, it is so.
You mean like the track choices, or do they integrate with the gameplay?
There's score, there's track choices. Blood Cultures is the band that put together a lot of the music for this. It is, and like Jan said, when those drops hit, it is chills, like literal chills, what this game's able to do. And again, I think like, you pop in for a second here and there and you're just like, all right, you're just controlling this kind of like clunky little glass man, and that's weird, I guess. And these things look strange and striking and unique and whatnot. Altogether though, really just, such a satisfying, tremendous experience overall. Really happy that this is out there. I'm so grateful that this thing is out there.
What a past couple weeks for like these music and vibes focused games.
Honestly.
Sectori, Unbeatable, now a Skate Story. Like seems like we all kind of have one of these. That's kind of awesome. Especially, like, hey, if some of the bigger releases are a little disappointing in ways, that it's cool that we have these smaller and more personal experiences that are really hitting with us. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I think it is personal, right? Like, I'm not expecting every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
That's what they say.
Harry,
that's
Dick,
correct.
Tom.
Those are the names.
That's what they're talking about.
All those
Harry, Dick,
people,
Tom.
I'm not expecting everyone to just like totally sync with this and be like, I get it, Bacalar. This is speaking to me in the exact. It's not going to do it. There's a lot of, and I think Jan, you share the same sort of mentality of like, there's a lot of things that just kind of like speak to the stuff we're into, right? And that's definitely a recipe for success when you've got that sort of commonality with what this game's presenting. So it is a deeply kind of like personal thing too. But yeah, when it hits, man.
I wasn't expecting to take as many screenshots of the game.
Oh
and
my
when
God.
I take screenshots of a game, it's not just because it looks pretty in the moment, but because they're dropping bars with the dialogue or the story and the text. Each chapter ends with like a poem that summarizes the whole level, and it's done very well. I think for me, this kind of, again, this is yet another example of the beauty of telling stories through video games as a medium, because, I don't know, like watching this would be cool as like a visual or a music video, but like playing through it. Another thing that I think Skate Story does really well is that it nails the weight of skating and like the heft, and like the fervor of like you got to push and kick. And even though he's like a little glass demon man, you see him like swaying and like trying to recapture his balance. Yeah. Also, there. Oh God, when I say I have had so many screenshots, it's because this game reminded me, oddly enough, of aspects of mouth washing from last year. And for folks that are also looking for another game that it may be similar to, I mentioned on the quick look, there are moments where it does remind me of Sayonara Wild Hearts. So imagine Sayonara Wild Hearts mouth washing on a skateboard, and you were a little glass baby man. Also,
what a combination.
One of the frogs of the year, I think.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
There's a Pillow Man also, a little
Shit.
beat, like just strange little weird shit. It is very also like David Lynchian.
Yes.
Yeah, I see.
You know, in a weird kind of way where you're just sort of like, I don't know, this floating skull has these like scissors that say something important to what I'm meant to do here. I don't know what else it is. Everyone's little and we're all going into this portal, and that's what's happening.
Bacalar, did you get to the penguin?
Oh my God, yes.
Did the penguin also remind you of Minotti?
I love penguins.
Oh shit. Okay, I see
I need
it
to see
now.
this penguin now.
I'll send you a screenshot.
That's amazing.
That's parentheses positive, Mike. No
Yeah,
more Reddit
in the
threads
best
about
way.
how we're
Of course, a
bullying Mike.
penguin?
In the
I
best
had no
way.
doubt it was positive. Penguins are great.
Because
Yeah.
he just had like
Everyone-
a sway to him that's like, if Mike
the flow.
Minotti ran like a jewelry shop, he'd be this penguin.
You know, and
Oh.
that's the cool thing. Like, you know, this is, you know, this is the playfulness of hell that I feel like I've been synced into that no one else has really gets on board
You've been
with me with that.
proselytizing this for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been banging this satanic drum for a minute, and if Skate Story is any, you know, vindication of what exactly I was going for here, I mean, here it is, folks. It is. You ever go to a bar and you're like,
Yes.
and like the decoration. I wasn't done. And the decoration and like the shit on the walls and like the things they're calling their menu items and the people behind the bar and all those little bit. You're like, fuck, man, this would be my bar if I made a bar, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
the feeling I'm getting with Skate Story, where it's like,
Oh,
God,
sure.
I feel so at home here. You know, I feel so much like I belong. Like this is a member. Like I'm supposed to be a member of this club somehow, and that's it for me. So I feel, you know, the Skate Story should make merch. Should
Yes.
make
Oh
t-shirts,
my God.
you know,
I'm gonna
like
play more of it.
Sam, let's talk. Like, what are we doing? I don't know, Sam. I keep talking about Sam like I know Sam. I think Sam's probably pretty cool.
I think Sam is very cool. Oh God. All right. That, folks, is Skate Story. That is it for the games. Jeff
No,
Grubb.
it's not. Jan, tell me just real quick.
Not
about
Tingus
baby
Goose,
ste-
is it?
about baby steps.
Oh, okay. Grubb, I had completed Skate Story, and then the story that it was presenting towards me, and this is, I think I've just been on a journey this year of like, oh, all these games are making me feel way too much. Let's go for another game that may potentially make me feel way too much. And so I booted up Baby Steps, and I made it decently far, and I was kind of letting it all sit and simmer with me, and then it just kind of like clicked into place after I thought of Skate Story, sorry. And this is going to be a very interesting game of the year. And I deeply appreciate a developer like Bennett Foddy. I think Sam Ing also should now be in that conversation for like fantastic indie devs, because the stuff going on in Bennett Foddy's brain is very poetic and beautiful, but also, are you okay, dog? Type of deal. And I think I get Baby Steps, not just for the hilarity that is presented because of the physics of the game and how it breaks down and makes a complicated task out of just walking. But then the act of walking and entering that flow state, but then getting back up, because, you know, you get knocked down and you get back up again, and they're never going to take me down.
I got knocked down and then stopped playing it.
You are the person who least lives the Chumbawumba lifestyle, Dan Riker. And I'll always say that about you.
You can't just say anything on podcasts. I know we're chummy.
I'm not afraid to say
While
it.
brandishing your weapon.
I fell down the first hill and I was like, well, that's it for me.
And then, like, I fell numerous times before we even, like, it took me so long to get out of the initial, like, little water you're in. And I kind of just flopped around like we did in the original unfinished of Baby Steps. But yeah, like it clicks into place.
There's a moment in that game that was top 3 most emotional moments for me in any video game ever. And it does happen. It does happen like related to the Manbreaker, but after the Manbreaker.
Yeah, I'm not quite there yet, but from what the parts of the game that have spoken to me, and that's just me finding meaning in it, have definitely reverberated inside the cavernous hollows of my soul right now.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Anyway, Jeff grabbed the news. This is Jeff grabbed the news. Jeff
Hi, I have news. Let's start here with GameStop may have accidentally leaked a second playable Resident Evil Requiem character. A GameStop listing for the Resident Evil Requiem Deluxe Bundle briefly revealed a potential second playable character, Rosemary Winters. The listing, now edited, mentioned a Shadow Walker costume pack with 3 exclusive outfits for Rosemary Winters and a Morphic visor cosmetic filter for Rose's visor and Aiden, whatever his name's iconic hat, I'm sure. Let's see here. Yeah, so that's one character that could be in that game. There's another one, though. Now at the PlayStation Store, they have also accidentally revealed a Resident Evil veteran will be coming to Requiem. This is a different character. An image on the PlayStation Store for Resident Evil Requiem seemingly confirms the return of veteran character. I mean, I guess it's a spoiler, but everyone was guessing this.
I mean, come on.
Come on, Leon Kennedy. Yes.
Yay. Yay.
Yeah, this has been in the air for a while now. I think this is something, one or both of these could be revealed at the Game Awards even, so.
Yeah. Oh my God, wait, 3 characters. Are we doing a Resident Evil 6 like?
Or a Devil May Cry 5 like? Or maybe
5 like?
A Martian Gothic like?
I just want to like zap to one of the other characters, and one of them's just doing some random crime.
Eating a hot dog. Yeah. Okay.
So how many years? Because like Rosemary was a kid. She was the baby in Village, right?
She was baby in Village, but the DLC was a flash forward by quite
she's an adult in the DLC.
Yeah, she's like 20-something in the DLC.
Yeah, but this I can't imagine is taking place during that time skip era. I don't know. I never played that DLC, so I feel like the Rose thing, I don't know what to make of that. That could be something small or whatever. But looking at especially the key art where you get the Leon leak, like that is a what do you call that? Deuteragonist, right? It's just the second protagonist. Deuteragonist. That's it's fun to say that. Ooh, I'd need to learn that better. Deuteragonist. Ooh.
Yeah, I like it too.
Deuteragonist. Is that what you're saying?
I bet if you have a son, a Deuteragonist. There you go. Right there.
And I think this is why we probably have like the first person and third person gameplay. I bet the Leon Kennedy stuff is going to be a bit more action presenting, whereas the stuff with the new character, like we see in the trailers, is much more like Resident Evil 7, more scary. I'm excited to see what this looks like a bit more at the Game Awards. I like Leon Kennedy a lot.
Me too.
He's one of my favorite Resident Evil characters. He's good.
Yeah. He grew a beard. He has facial hair now.
He's got a stubble, a very tasteful stubble. He's a tired old man now, and I respect
face
that.
pubes. Just say it. He's got some
face. He's got the face pubes. Everybody.
Who among us? The future of Tomb Raider will be revealed at the Game Awards. The future of Tomb Raider will be revealed at the Game Awards this week, as confirmed via a Fortnite Island and a post. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
Jeff.
please. I get it.
I hope this does good news. Like this. I'm worried that
we're killing Lara.
Is this the end of Lara Croft? I hope it goes the good way. I fucking still love Tomb Raider.
I'm glad that you do, because I never loved it. I never loved it, but I never hated it either.
I hated the original games. I really loved those first 2 comeback ones.
Oh, sure, me too. Yeah.
Didn't love that. Was Shadow the most recent
Tomb Raider.
Didn't love that one. No,
it got a little. It sort of ventured down maybe the least desirable path, I think. But
that is a really great tool for testing performance on PCs. That's what Shadows.
Oh, really?
There you go.
Yeah,
Oh, that,
stress effect.
yes,
Yeah.
that was always like the benchmark, right?
Uh-huh.
You know, yeah, maybe that original game is basically unplayable by today's standards, but you know what? I have a fondness of just like not knowing what the fuck to do in these insane dungeon areas where like the path through is some completely unseeable little ledge where you just had to like know to jump off the corner of a thing.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, right? Like obviously there's rose-colored lenses that are informing that opinion, but where you're right, Grub, where that relaunch went was nothing short of fantastic, right? And I hope there's a bright future ahead here because there's still gas in that tank, I think.
Speaking of bright future, like I that remake trilogy, which I did enjoy, I think it kept getting darker and darker, which and I think by Shadow was maybe a bit much. And it made sense that direction when Uncharted was happening and it kind of already maybe cornered the market on the bit more like fun adventure side of it. Now that we're in a pretty vacant Uncharted area, I hope to see Tomb Raider maybe lean a bit more back in that direction, be a bit more, adventuring, fun time. It can have obviously heavier moments, but I don't want it to be Shadow of the Tomb Raider or super dark. I don't need to see Lara Croft getting stabbed in her thigh meat every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, go back to that old like Indiana Jones pulpy vibe that the first couple Tomb Raiders had.
Yeah.
I'd be down for a revisit to that.
Are they?
I might have some breaking news here. I'm sorry. There might be developments on Desert Statue Gate.
Yeah, I was just reading that as well. What do you have there, Mike?
Yeah, no. I'm distressed. I'm distressed because I liked the Alter Beast theory a lot.
I did too.
That is a good one.
Hey, like you play Metroid. When I was reading that news story, I was like, Dan and Mike are gonna like this.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, the news scuttlebutt, thanks to a trademark reveal and some logo shenanigans, is that perhaps this is related to Divinity, which was
never mind.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, never mind.
That was the Larian franchise. Oh, come on. Bonus Game 3 is so good. The next game from Larian. This is Larian. That's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. It's very exciting.
But if they do have us visit their studio to play the game, we should send Dan like you did for Baldur's Gate 2.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it only makes sense. It only makes sense. Yeah.
God.
I like that Mike turned his compressor. He turned his compressor back on, and now when he yells, he becomes Small Mikey again.
I did do that. You totally turned it off, and I was like, I don't know if I like.
Look, I'm Belgian. I'm the only one that can speak to these people. Yes,
you're right. Yeah,
yeah, and you're fluid Belgian.
It does look pretty similar. I guess it looks very similar. It probably is Divinity, and that will be a pretty big get. And this is also kind of the kind of thing they would do. I've not really asked around about this. I've been having fun with like the mystery, and we might as well just carry that forward. Now we're going to find out in 2 days. So
I'm going to the desert. I will find out.
All right, our man on the scene.
You could actually go find this. Like they have the coordinates out there. Jan,
I'll pour like a series of. I'll make a transmutation circle around it of like 5 different colored buzz balls, and we'll see what comes out.
Okay, beautiful. All right. Let's see. Anything else from was that all from the Tomb Raider thing?
I think so.
Yes. We haven't left that one yet.
It could be the show, it could be the movie or the game. It could be both. Is the tease that could end up happening at the Game Awards.
I think they said it was Crystal Dynamics related or something.
Right, but I think they might also talk about the show at this thing. So we'll see. I mean, it's Jeff Keighley. He would love to have anything related to Hollywood, so they would do that. Xbox was outsold by a little-known Kinect-style console during Black Friday. This came from Matt Piscatella, who pointed out PlayStation 5, which had a really steep discount, like $100, and they had the biggest discount out of any of these consoles. 47% of Black Friday sales went to PlayStation 5. Nintendo Switch 2 was second at 24%. And then after that, and third, not the Xbox, 14% was the Next Playground, which is... I have one of these things. It's a little cube with a camera, and it's just a bunch of like PlayStation iToy style games of whacking your hands around and hitting beach balls and stuff like that. A lot of whacking games. Yeah.
Like the Bowser Jr. game you can play at Nintendo World.
Yeah, I like that.
Should I bring this to New Jersey and we
Yes.
can play it in the house? And
Bring
maybe,
the B&B.
100%.
Will
Yep.
will the
play it in
gimmicks?
B&B, maybe record a video.
But your kids will miss it so much.
They've not. I pay for a yearly subscription for that thing, and I don't think they've touched it since that first month. So,
Oh, cool.
Hey,
Hell yeah.
also
Yeah, bring
cancel
it.
the Just Dance
Yeah.
subscription, Grub, if you haven't. Yet.
oh shit, yeah, I have not. Let me do that.
Well, or we can keep dancing.
Yeah, we could keep dancing. I had a good time. I feel good after that stream.
In the B&B, we should just watch MXC and Beyond the Mat again. Like, that's the only
Hell
things
yeah.
those TVs can
It was
show.
a good time. Yeah. I had a roommate once, my first roommate actually, who said that if the TV is going to be on in the house from the hours of 5 to 6, it has to be on The Simpsons. And I was like, yeah, that's great.
No, that,
and then
yeah, that's fair.
And then I got Super Mario Sunshine, and I started playing that, and he was like, it's 5. Can't have the TV on unless it's on The Simpsons. I'm like, you're fucking
Dog.
serious?
This guy seems cool. All right.
Yeah.
Serious about that?
Yeah. Eventually, they kicked me out for not being like Chandler and Joey.
Oh,
You
right.
had to
I
be-
love that story.
Yes,
story.
the
Wait,
exact
you had to be
words.
both of them?
Yeah, that's a
They
lot.
wanted our relationship to be equivalent to Chandler and or Joey.
You're neither
and
of those people.
I was never going to be one of
Wait.
those people.
That in your exit interview, they were like,
Yeah.
you weren't enough
Yes.
like these
Literally, it was like an
fictional
exit
guys.
interview.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. It
Yeah,
was
you're a bit
crazy.
too Kramer for a. He lives next door.
I was go work a backbreaking job and come home and sleep. That's what I was. And it's oh my God, the fucking
That
idiots.
is so funny.
Fun times. I moved back home, and that was the right choice. Xbox was outsold. Netflix has agreed to buy Warner Brothers, including game developers behind Mortal Kombat and Hogwarts Legacy. Now there is
What's this? That's Paramount's music.
Larry Ellison from the top row. They're going to try a hostile takeover, $180 million in cash, and that's a very, very rich person, Larry Ellison. But he's not going to use all his own money. He's going to Saudi Arabia and Qatar, and going to have them help them fund this deal. And they promise they won't be involved in running the Warner Brothers if they get it. So yeah, that's going to be a fun back and forth. I don't. Here's the thing about the video games on all this. They are not the central thing. If
They don't
Netflix,
care.
No.
they don't care about it right now. If Netflix gets it, they're getting HBO and all that content and all those subscribers to HBO Max. Did they go back to HBO
They
Max?
went back to HBO Max, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know which
this
one to
is
watch
just-
for HBO now.
Yeah, the one to watch for HBO's gone.
This is just great. This is just the best. I don't know about you all, but there should only just be one fucking company ever. Just
Yeah.
a company of
Disney.
Earth.
As long as it's a tech company, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
fine.
Right,
Yeah.
it's AI powered. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right.
I can't begin to describe to you how amazing this is for everyone involved. And I'm very
Right.
excited for the one company that we will all be buying our
What, like,
content from.
What the fuck? Oracle is Larry Ellison's company. My understanding is they kind of just stand in the middle of everyone and buy stuff from one company and sell it to another, and then now he's a trillionaire. It's crazy.
This
That's
Larry
a
Ellison I had not heard of, and I just had the thought, oh, I bet this guy sucks. And I Googled him, and he looks like a Bond villain.
Yeah.
He
They always
sucks.
do.
Yes,
He
and
looks like a
his
guy that
children.
really sucks. Yeah.
I feel like it's the last time I heard a friend of the show, Ed Zitron, talk about Oracle, he made me feel good that like Oracle was in trouble because of like them not being able to be solvent with all the money they've got out on the street.
It's definitely it's the bubble thing, obviously. Yeah, it's bad. Like, there's a lot of stuff invested in GPUs. Hey, either way, NetherRealm's not going to go away. That is a company that makes games. The rest of these studios, who's to say? How much interest are any of them going to have in? I don't know. What's a sort of like
Rocksteady is kind of in a weird space since
Right.
in a post-Suicide Squad world.
Yeah.
Traveler's Tales, right? Lego Star Wars made a lot of money. That was a bit ago. You would imagine the Hogwarts Legacy people, they would just want to make another one of those that made $1 zillion, but who knows? It's weird.
They just don't care. In the press release that came out, they didn't even mention WB games. They
No.
were nowhere in any of that. So it's like
They don't
small
care.
potatoes compared to what they get in everything else, apparently.
It would potentially also make wrestling very weird.
Isn't that a different
sure.
thing, though? I thought the TNT and TBS fell under a different jurisdiction or something.
I
don't
take
know
it
if they're
back
part of
then.
it.
Wrestling,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
weird on its own then.
No,
It'll just suck.
Always.
Like it has
super
been.
normal
Yeah.
wrestling.
It's like weird because like I know people don't believe that some of these characters are ever going to go public domain, but they've already sort of won all the battles they can win with that. Like Superman's going to start going in the public domain here pretty soon, and I know there's always weirdness around there. It's like can only be the first version of Superman. You can't go base it on anything since then, but that stuff's going to be less valuable here in the next 5 to 10 years. So the fact that they're doing all this and then they're going to turn to these companies that have primarily made superhero video games like a Rocksteady and then like go invest 5 to 10 years making the next one of those. I don't know. It just seems precarious on all sides. And the worst part is, of course, the companies making these acquisitions don't even know there's video games being made, let alone care about it.
Is Oracle the American company that they made kind of take over TikTok? Or like
that was the idea. Yes.
Yeah.
Got it.
And and Paramount is the reason they're showing up now is what is their company? Skydance? Is it Skydance Media? That was them. They acquired Paramount recently, and now they just keep
Skydance like Mission Impossible. Like aren't they like Tom Cruise? Something related, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's like he was like in the ground floor there. But since then, it seems like a vessel for the Ellison family to acquire more and more of American media. They would also own Oracle, CNN, and stuff like that after that. So that'd be fun. Suda51 says he wants to bring back this forgotten PS2 game, hopefully sooner rather than later. Grasshopper Manufacturer CEO Goichi Suda51, wants to bring back the studio's 2004 PS2 title, Michigan Report from Hell.
What?
I know, right? I remember hearing about this. I never played it. I am desperately wanting to play this game now. He's basically he just plays a cameraman covering a plane crash in a mist-covered Chicago on Lake Michigan. I think that's why it's called
Lake Michigan. Okay. I was gonna say,
strange.
Like, is this the Jeff Grubb story? What is Michigan?
I know.
Yeah, okay,
Basically.
Okay. Gotcha.
I would love to see this. I wonder if this is the kind of thing that Suda just says to see if he can make it happen or if he's really actually working on this.
Yeah. That man manifests very, very well.
He does. So I'm hopeful. All right. Buckle up, you motherfucker, Mike Minotti. You ready?
Oh, no.
Oh my God.
No, what's going on here?
Capcom plans to grow Mega Man, Devil May Cry, and Ace Attorney into core IPs similar to Street Fighter and Resident Evil. Capcom's president Haruhiro Sugimoto stated in a corporate report that the company plans to elevate Mega Man, Devil May Cry, and Ace Attorney. Man, that's a bunch for you, except for how much you hate Devil May Cry, to core IPs.
That's the best one.
I don't hate it, but
DMC 5 is mid, I've heard.
It was mid. It was a 7 out of 10. It was good.
5's not good.
Didn't mean to put you on the spot. I was just having a fun. I know how you feel about it. I just know everyone else thinks you hate it because a 7 whatever out of the last one.
I repeat what he explicitly told me. Oh, we can't start this.
Okay, so we know that Capcom wants to do this. It's obvious from the way that they've been like treating some of these other franchises that they have. We talked about them wanting to like elevate Dragon's Dogma, and it seems like they didn't include one game on this list, Dead Rising, which could reappear here any minute now. Seems like they want to do the same thing.
A couple
with that.
days, perhaps.
Yes, in a couple days, perhaps. So, like, do you think they have the capacity to do all this, and what would that even look like for Mega Man?
That's the question. Because, they've been making Mega Man products. There's been compilations. There's still a Star Force compilation coming out next year. Remaking Mega Man is weird because it's not like, even a Resident Evil game where you're taking a 3D game, remaking a 3D game.
Well,
do you
there is
bother?
a 3D game they could remake.
That's right.
Well, they're not going to remake Legends. I hope
Why
they do
not?
a compilation. Legends never. Maybe they will. It could be
It was
neat.
never given a chance, really.
Yeah.
That's kind of the problem there.
Mikey, if Mega Man in your fantasy booking mind, if they could redo Mega Man outside of that side-scrolling sort of presentation, what would you love to see Mega Man explored as?
It should be. You should look at Ratchet and Clank. Right.
Oh.
I think Ratchet and Clank is the kind of format you look there. I think that's the franchise that is the best 3D platformer that has shooting mechanics, and that's kind of always been
platformer, huh?
Yeah, that's always been Mega Man's thing. Is it's the 2D game where you jump and shoot. Ratchet and Clank is the 3D game where you jump and shoot. So I think you look at that and you finally go and make like a really fun, exciting 3D Mega Man platform. That would be my dream.
Yes,
a bunch of fun powers and stuff. Like,
That's a great idea.
That's cool.
And then you you arrive in those battle areas with the bosses. That would be really fun.
And you drive through the desert on a motorcycle. It'd be awesome.
Now,
all right,
I bet we're
the
gonna
motorcycle's
get
a dog.
It's okay. Yeah.
Right, dog with wheels.
Yes.
I bet we get another 2D game. I bet they're going to make like, and maybe it's not Mega Man 12 this time. Maybe we finally do another X game as a bit of a throwback. But I bet that happens at least first.
I know that you're very high on Proto Man, but where are you?
I love Proto Man.
With Zero.
Zero's cool. Zero's a cool
Why did you
guy.
say that with a growl like you were Clint Eastwood? I love Proto Man.
is the first character as a human, I ever thought was cool. I was like 3, and I was like, whoa, Mega Man has a brother, and he's kind of like mysterious, and that's cool. He doesn't smile. He means business.
I like how you were an edgelord when you were like 3.
What? No, it's like being in Ohio. Someone who didn't smile, that's an alien. That's from another planet.
That's allowed. Yeah. Guys, when I said as a human, I mean as a human being, not Proto Man. He's a robot.
You coming online as a human, like this is one of your early thoughts. Yeah.
Yes, this was one of my earliest thoughts that I can remember is thinking Proto Man was cool.
I think there's a couple different ways that they could approach this too. Is like Mega Man, they could do like what Sega is doing, bringing back some of their properties, like giving Shinobi to a team that would do a really good job with it, for example. I could see them doing that with Mega Man if they wanted to. Ace Attorney, they could just like put more of a marketing push behind it. You know, games like
that all
Persona.
takes to make a core IP, like to get it up to that level?
Well, that's what I'm thinking is like, because let's be real, those franchises in particular are never going to get up to the heights of Resident Evil and Monster Hunter, you know, over 100 million. Like they've always struggled a little bit because they are a little more niche. I think just, you know, recognizing how much money they're going to put into it relative to how many people are going to buy it, finding that balance, like maybe having an indie studio license the IP and that sells like 2 million copies or something. Maybe that's what they mean as combined with the re-releases that they mentioned and everything like that. That's what core IP is for Mega Man. Whereas DMC, they can double down on, let's keep making these big cinematic action games with huge set pieces and production value. And that's what that can be. Like, I think they can find a balance for all these, especially Ace Attorney. Ace Attorney needs to be given another chance to shine in a post Persona popping off and Danganronpa being huge with a lot of fans and stuff.
Good show.
I think they could elevate these things in different ways.
And Ace Attorney was growing. Like those collections were doing surprisingly well. And I'm a little surprised it's taking this long to get the next one. And I bet we hear about that pretty soon.
It definitely helps like that the collections are out there and now there are just new fans of the series.
They're on sale
and they
all
are
the time.
coming sort of to the end of the collection. They did come to the end of for Ace Attorney, right? They've done everything.
Everything is now, So it's great that they did that.
Close.
I got a question here, though. Did Beautiful Joe say something wrong? Did he get canceled?
Oh.
Yeah, he's MAGA.
This is disrespectful.
What's
How
too
dare
bad?
No, two's
the
good.
first one's
It's good.
No, two's good.
I don't know if I played 2, but 1 is like just a perfect game. Like
Two's
I
very
played one of them-
similar.
That's what I'm playing on the Thor.
Maybe Red Hot Rumble was the problem. I don't know.
They had some side steps,
played that.
and Double Trouble on the DS. Like, those were not as good.
I mean, again, it's anecdotal, right? Because it's only in our little orbit. But I've never seen so many people in our little orbit who want this, right? And like, if you extrapolate that, I'm sure there is a palpable appreciation / demand for this character in this franchise.
Give it time.
Sure.
Maybe that Okami team, once they're done with that in like 8 years, then they'll go to Beautiful Joe.
Clovers.
Plus, Proto Man kind of looks like Beautiful Joe. If we're being
true.
completely honest.
Good point. Good
I
point.
think
Interesting.
the problem is always capitalizing on the hype, because with even a smaller one of these, it still takes like 3 years to turn around roughly.
Right.
And like, hey, maybe there's a lot of nostalgia for Mega Man or Beautiful Joe or something, because like people make a bunch of TikToks and YouTube shorts and stuff. But then by the time the game is out, maybe the hype has died down. I think that's a trap Capcom has fallen into a couple times here. So that's probably why they've been a little anxious to really double down these series that don't sell as well. But I think we're in a different spot in general, especially with Steam becoming so much bigger and smaller releases being more viable. I think that they could bring some of these back.
Follow-up question for y'all. Do you think we would sooner get a new or re-release of a Beautiful Joe game or Billy Hatcher?
Beautiful
Beautiful
Joe.
Joe. Beautiful Joe.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
you're never seeing that fucking Eggman again.
Yeah, especially with his association with that criminal. Like,
Yep, that's the problem.
Yeah, those
Yes.
were really
Yeah.
damning photographs.
Yeah.
He was on
They
the list.
didn't mention Dino Crisis, even though people keep screaming for that one.
Yeah, I mean, they were doing something a few years ago, and then they decided against it. I think they probably discovered some like key reason why they're like, it's not worth it. So it's not in the front of their minds in this moment. At least that would be my guess. Devil May Cry, you just make a new Devil May Cry game.
Yeah, make Devil May Cry
yeah.
6. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, sure. Or you remake 1 or something and whatever.
Sure. Oh yeah, they'll probably start doing some compilations of Devil May Cry here soon and begin the process with that, and then kind of renew everything over there. Okay.
Yeah. Re-releases have already been out there, like the HD versions are already
Right,
out there.
okay.
But like, yeah, a remake of 1, I think, would go a long way. In
Yeah.
You could remake
modernizing
2, Kayla's
some of that
favorite.
Yeah.
stuff. Christ.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's insane.
Does she like 3?
No, that's the one she quit on. It's the best
What?
one in that whole genre.
That's the best one.
Yeah, it's definitely the best one.
God, the nunchucks were so
She
sick
wasn't
in that
feeling
game.
it. She liked Devil May Cry too.
Man.
Just like Resident Evil 2
Oh,
remakes
God,
the worst
she showed up.
Resident
She
Evil.
showed up.
Oh,
I'm
we said
sorry.
her name 3
She's here.
times. She's in the chat.
I've been summoned, lol. Okay, be quiet. Yeah, quiet.
I can't.
Some moments.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced has been listed on Peggy's website. A listing for the long-rumored Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, titled Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, has appeared on the Peggy website with an 18 rating for violence, bad language, and in-game purchases.
And for piracy.
Yeah.
This gets announced in 2 days, right? At the Game Awards.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think so.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And I could be in the mood for that game. That's a game I enjoyed quite a bit.
I never checked this one out. I think I was already tired of the franchise by this point.
Oh,
Me
yeah.
too. That's
That's-
one
yeah.
that made me just
But-
like tap out
The
entirely.
pirate stuff, very cool in this. But there's a part of me that even thinks about, like, even though this game's intro was shorter than some of the other ones, there's a part of me that's like, do I want to do all that stuff again? I
Yes,
just kind of
that's
want to
always
be
the
a
thing.
pirate. If only they made a game that was just the pirate stuff.
Yeah, it could never work. I would like to fight against other pirates online, but
The possibilities. That sounds like... where it sounds like we're adding an extra A to the AAA formula here.
start
Whoa.
a letter writing campaign, everybody, and let Yves know what you want. All right, Star Wars.
Minotti,
Knights-
I feel like you and I think our brains have the exact opposite reactions when we hear that sea shanties are involved.
Oh, I'm big fan of shanties. Sounds
His eyes
exciting.
got as big as silver dollars.
I do like the sea shanties.
Second people on a boat start singing, I'm like, I'm good.
I think I saw Minotti like slowly start floating like a cartoon character smelling pie.
Twinkle toes, like Fred Flintstone bowling.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Love me a sea shanty.
I also like sea shanties. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 restored content DLC for Nintendo Switch was shut down by Disney's legal team. The restored content DLC for Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 on Switch was announced but later quietly canceled, sparking fan frustration and a false advertising lawsuit. In June 2023, Aspire co-CEO Ted Salok confirmed the cancellation, citing a third-party objection. Now, new details reported by Stephen Totillo at GameFile, based on internal communications between Aspire, Disney, and the original PC mod team, outlined the reasons. Disney had previously blocked restored content for the 2020 mobile release. When the topic resurfaced for the Switch version in March 2022, Disney initially had no objection to Aspire working with modders, provided Aspire secured all necessary rights, including for supplemental content. What happened was they took that back to Disney, and there was people's names in the credits for these mods that they were going to put into the game to fully complete Knights of the Old Republic 2. They're going to use this like publicly available stuff. But some of the names were pseudonyms and things like that. And Disney was like, whoa, we need to properly credit these people. And we might need to re-record some of these voice lines that are done by non-union actors and stuff like that. And as soon as all these things started to pile up, Aspire's like, oh, so basically what you're saying is we can't use any of this because we're not going to be able to unravel many of these problems. And that became an impasse. And so Disney effectively got in the way and shut it down. This is not going to necessarily be like, all right, now the lawsuit's going to get thrown out. It might be like, oh, no, this is a successful lawsuit. Disney at one point said, okay, Aspire went through on that understanding. And so this lawsuit, which is for false advertising, might actually result in something at this point. But I think that also makes it sound like, oh, we'll just never get that stuff now in an official release. So just go play it on the PC instead.
Yeah, I bet that KOTOR 1 remake is another thing we might see in a couple days here.
Feeling like it. Yep. And then if they do that, we could see that stuff in a remake of 2 if that first one does really well.
Right.
But
Well,
Yeah,
Patilla
that's what
mentioned
the story
that
is
as part of
saying.
this.
Yeah, the story is saying is
exactly.
that the remake of 2 is already happening, which is a little interesting that you would just jump on that before the first one's even done, presumably with a different team.
Yeah, they're so closely related in terms, like it is a direct sequel, and so that's
Yes.
why I think they're saying it's like, if we're doing this, that's what the story is saying. It's like, let's do it all in one go. I think it's still gonna like rely on the first one doing well enough to sort of justify that going forward, but we'll see. Surprise! Skyrim Anniversary Edition lands on Switch 2 today. Boy, they did it again.
Oh, baby.
I think it's a free update if you have the game on Switch. So
Cool.
There you go. Yeah, once again. All right, that does it for the news. Handing the show back over to Jan.
Folks, we're going to take a quick Berkey break, and we will be back with emails, super chats, and whatever else we feel is necessary right after this break. These are the emails for the show. Emails. Bombcast@giantbomb.com is the email address to send all of your lovely emails to. Folks, we've been getting a poop ton of emails, and I appreciate it. So much so that we can't fit all of them on the show, so please don't be offended. Speaking about emails, we will not be doing a live Bombcast next week, but we will be recording one to air next week, so we'll all be in person. And I'm going to say, send your emails in, gang. Send them in. Bombcast@giantbomb.com. If you want to send in a quiz, you want to avoid an awkward social interaction, you want to pick apart something we said, you want to compliment one of us, I welcome them all. Maybe a little Bombcast mail bag specular, special, or spectacular. I was trying to make a fun word. I was trying to make a fun word.
Special
Fun
fun
word.
word. There you go.
I didn't have fun.
Happy birthday, Mikey.
Thank you.
Do you have fun then?
Yeah, I like that.
All right. First email comes from. Also, if you have sent an email in the past that has not gotten read out loud on the show and you desperately want it / need it to, send it again. Maybe it'll get on to next week's episode. First email comes from Mike from Loveland. Hello, oracles of the giant temple Bombfi. We've had years where every game had grappling hooks, or years where every first-person shooter had a bow and arrow. What will 2026 be the year of? What would you like it to be? I'd like it to be the year of the chunky pistol. Love the show. Love you all. Mike from Loveland.
Wasn't there a recent Summer Games Fest for TGAs where every trailer for like a 2026 game was like a weird mech suit, like exo suit type thing? Like, have those all come out?
Because we got Pragmata, and there'll probably be more Mega Man games announced.
Mecha Breath.
Gosh, I didn't even make that joke earlier. Yeah, I think mech suits is a good game. They're going to bring back Anthem.
I mean, they put a mech suit in Hades, so maybe we're just starting.
Yeah, I like this idea.
I think wall running's going to come back again.
Ooh, oh, yeah.
I like that.
Next
I
year,
like that.
Yeah, that's what they should have done. But Checkpoint 4, they should have added wall running.
I think they tried to make
Titanfall 2.
I think they tried to make spells happen. Like, what was that very visually busy game?
Immortals of Avium?
Yes, that one. Thank you, Dan.
And
couldn't remember the
Forspoken?
name. Good
And
job.
Forspoken?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Did you guys see that? Like, I think like some Square Enix investor put together some report on what the company's doing wrong. I think Forspoken cost significantly more to make than Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, really? Jesus.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Very, very good handling resources there. Scout, please. What's going on?
Scott, please.
Also,
yes.
smart pistols. Basically, anything that was in Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
Just make the whole thing.
Make it the year of Titanfall.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
God, remember when we played that? Like, was it a year
Yeah.
ago or something?
And it was still
Jesus.
great.
Yeah, it's so great.
So
Yeah,
good.
it's upsettingly good still.
I love
Yeah,
those.
We should just make that a holiday tradition.
Yeah, there we go.
Play Titanfall.
sure.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Josh in Minnesota writes in, and Sean, it's apt that you are here. Hey, Bombers. I'm looking at getting my nephews, 5 and 7, their first Pokemon game. They only have a Switch 1. So what do you think is the best title of that generation for their first-time Pokemon players? P.S. Happy belated birthday, Dan. Best, Josh in Minnesota.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, that's got to be Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee, right, Sean?
Yeah,
Snap.
like it always depends on the platform. Whenever people ask, like, hey, my first Pokemon game in 25 years. What should I play? I'm like, dog, you gotta specify. There's so many platforms you may or may not have and everything like this. They're gonna ask the question. This is great. Yeah, if you're looking for best one on the Switch One, Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee. Yeah, Mike is right. That's probably the best one overall for anyone to get into, especially because there's co-op. If you're getting your nephews this game to play together, yeah, they can both play together. If they throw a Pokeball together, it actually like combines into the higher tier Pokeball and has a better chance of catching. And it's also just a great Gen 1 remake. It's just like, a good old school RPG, just with some niceties that really bring it into the modern era. It's a great place to start. But also Legends ZA is it runs well enough on the Switch One for what it's trying to do. That's a really, really fun game. So maybe as like their second Pokemon game, that could be a good one. Like Scarlet and Violet are good on the Switch 2, not on the Switch 1. Same with Arceus. Arceus is rough around the edges on Switch 1. So yeah, I think definitely stick with the Let's Go games. And if they get really into Pokemon as a franchise, maybe explore some of the spin-offs. I think Pokemon Snap is evergreen, and new Pokemon Snap, you just pick up that on the Switch as well.
Yeah. 100% agreed on Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee. Next email comes from Travis in Fargo. Travis sends in 5 questions. I only read one of them. Travis writes, I talk to my kids, seemingly on a weekly basis, about the mental and emotional benefits of experiencing boredom sometimes. What's a boring or tedious task you don't mind or even enjoy?
I think that's part of the reason I don't really listen to like podcasts and stuff is because like I think a lot of people will listen to it while they're doing other things, and I don't like to distract myself in that way. Like there's a saying you hear a lot in like meditation books and stuff where it's wash the dishes to wash the dishes. Like it's a tedious thing, but like it's good for you to occasionally just like, you don't always have to have stimuli and things just going in your brain all the time. So like that's why we joke about the like movie thing with the phones and stuff like that, but there's a reason that's important to me. I go on walks and sometimes I'll listen to Deadlock, and a lot of times it's just like, no, I'm just going to walk and I'm just going to focus on the walk and not be distracted with things. So yeah, no, I totally track with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, what's happening?
Oh, genuine plaid.
All right. Fine. I won't talk, camera.
Bye.
Yeah, I enjoy like occasionally just throwing myself into the task. Although at like some things, it's like, oh, cleaning the house is so tedious to me, and not tedious. It's just like I have dopamine issues. I have ADHD, so it's like doing it is like a whole thing. And if I can get dopamine from like a podcast instead, I can sort of fake my way into enjoying it. But there's so many other things that I was like, oh no, it's good to just be bored sometimes. And I do tell my kids that. It's like, you know what, you guys need to just get away from everything else, just go be bored for a little bit. That's something that you are almost never experiencing, and it's probably not good for you.
I like being present with Scout when I go take her out for a walk. Not saying that it's tedious, she needs the exercise, needs to go use potty, but like I don't know, I like basking in the neighborhood with her and talking to her even if she may not understand or she's ignoring me like a little jerk she can be.
I think I want to sneak in one that Jan, you'll understand where I'm coming from with this. Bit of a different direction. Editing is tedious, but it's fun when you are able to incorporate your creative ideas into an otherwise tedious task. And when you have that finished product of, oh yeah, I pulled that one off, that feels good. Like it's a really satisfying moment.
Yes.
And you get that all the way down to, like washing the dishes and like feeling that satisfaction of, well, the dishes are done, or like go on a walk and like, I feel reinvigorated. It's nice to be able to find that in your work when you can as well, to like make the day go by. That's why I chose this career path, is because sometimes the tedious things can end up in a very satisfying place.
Yeah, I like having that hyped moment after completing a task of like, yes, I fucking did it. Let's fucking go. Yeah!
Exactly.
Aaron from Warren, Pennsylvania. Is that what PA is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. What else would it be? Are there any other states that even start with P?
Good evening, Bombinos. Out of the Fab Five,
Virginia,
Dan, Jeff, Mike. Who is the best gamer? Also, also best at games? Aaron from Warren, Pennsylvania.
I think Mike is the best at games in that you put a game in front of him, I think he's going to figure it out before anyone else.
Sean's up there too.
Yeah, but I was getting like in terms of best gamer, I think there's so many different things where one of us is going to be out in front of the other. Like we could put a leaderboard in any game, And I really don't know who would come out on top. It would just be like who can dedicate the most amount of time to it.
I think to put into terms that you know some people will understand. I think Mike's kind of like the Justin Wong of the group, where it's just like he's played so many games and a variety of them. Like there's a little bit of natural skill with like being like good reactions and like
mashing
good
stuff like that. He can just process his information very well.
Exactly, where it's like he's just good at a variety of games. For me, it's more specialized of like, I'll speed run a game that I really love, or I'll play a lot of runs of something that I love. That's how I get into like higher level Super Mario 64, Crazy Taxi, stuff like that. But I think Mike is definitely more like the Swiss Army knife of he's good at a bunch of things.
He's really liking this. He's nodding a lot as we're talking about how good he is at games.
He's being quiet. It's like he's everything he wants to hear. Yeah.
I think Mike is the best gamer and also the most gamer.
Yes. He's definitely the only one that could do a gamer rap.
I don't disagree. I know what you mean, Dan. Yeah. I know that one was not necessarily. It's not positive either.
All right, gang. Moving on. We have 2 very lengthy emails about recommendations. One is in regards to ska. Mace from Tacoma, Washington writes in, "Hey, gang, I enjoyed the ska discussion from the dump truck this week. I'm a lifelong fan of the genre, and as I was listening, I remembered an email from some time ago where a listener recommended some metal albums for the crew based on their personalities. As a lifelong fan of both Skankin' and Giant Bomb, I figured I could do the same for music's most unfairly maligned punk subgenre, Bacalar. You know your stuff about third wave and early 2000s, so I'm going to make a recommendation from the modern scene. Kill Lincoln and their 2020 album Can't Complain. It's got a bit more of a punk edge that I think will appeal to your Alkaline Trio sensibilities, and it'll give you the bragging rights of being able to name drop another cool band most people haven't heard of. Jan, as a pop punker at heart, I got to go with Jeff Rosenstock's 2021 Ska Dream, a ska reimagining of his excellent 2020 pop punk record No Dream. You want millennial sad boy? No one does it better than Jeff Rosenstock. He takes the unfortunate economic realities and mental health struggles of our lives in this increasingly fascist society and turns it into bangers. Oh, that's a little too real for me, Mace. Grub, you mentioned only being tangentially aware of Streetlight Manifesto. So for you, I recommend their 2003 album, Everything Goes Numb. One of my favorite albums of all time of any genre. Its frantic sounds and striking lyrics will probably hit you in the right spots for your ADHD brain to keep it engaged, just as it does with mine.
What was it? What was the name of the album again?
Everything Goes Numb.
Thank you.
By Streetlight Manifesto.
And if the themes of baby steps really resonated with you, songs like A Better Place, A Better Time, and Point / Counterpoint will likely do the same. Menotti. Right. I feel your ska awareness is mostly tied to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. So I'll recommend a recent album with a sound that captures those vibes. Jer's 2003 album, Bothered / Unbothered. That's Jer, J-E-R.
It's short without the F.
Yes, which is a very high energy and very socially conscious, so you don't have to worry about getting canceled again. And if the album doesn't work,
it can't be canceled again. You get strikes on those. I'm at 2.
And if the album doesn't totally work for you, I at least recommend Jer's YouTube channel, Ska2 Network, where they make ska covers, video game music, cartoon theme songs, and more.
Very good.
Finally, Dan, I gotta say, I was surprised Dan to learn is a fan of ska in any capacity, as it strikes me.
I'm not.
As the kind of thing he'd roll his eyes against for not being cool guy stuff. I know Dan has expressed fondness for heavier bands like Queens of the Stone Age and Mastodon, so I'll recommend the 1996 landmark debut record of the Suicide Machines, Destruction by Definition. You'll definitely recognize...
What an album.
The song New Girl from the original Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. It's also got jams as Hey Van's song SOS, Break the Glass, a high-energy good time from front to back. Keep up the good work and never stop skanking. Mace from Tacoma, Washington.
Wow. What a tremendous email. Just validating ska fans worldwide, I think.
The Ska2 Network cover, the Inspector Gadget theme song is very good.
Yeah, Ska2 Network is great. I do love him.
Dan, there's got to be something ska adjacent you've enjoyed, like
probably at some point.
Chicago or something. I don't know.
The thing is, when ska was big, I was at peak Paul Reichert, only like
Sure.
Skinner and the Stones are good. And so when I saw kids in my junior high wearing like Blink 182 shirts or there was like a Skankin' Bunny on, I remember thinking like, this seems like it's some stuff that people that smoke weed would like.
Scary.
You called the cops on him. You did your duty.
I thought about
Yeah.
it. I thought about it. But
Yeah,
I did give the side eye to Scott, but I also did that with anything post 78. So yeah. Now I'm more open minded now. I remember seeing some like SNLs where like the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones would be on. I'd be like, that's catchy, you know? So
Yeah.
I think the potential is there for me to like it.
Trombones.
Fantastic.
I like horns.
Me too. The horn section always makes me happy.
Yeah,
yes.
I love James Brown, and there's a lot of horns
yeah.
going on there. Yeah.
Hey, friend of the show, go listen to Peter Septic's new album. Very sad boy bangers, and there's some horns in that
he's
jazz
crushing
too.
it. Yeah, he's really doing awesome stuff.
What a
over there.
cool guy.
Yeah, I think he's a very cool dude.
All right. 2 more emails here. This comes from John. This question is really just for Mike. Sorry, everyone.
Oh, yay.
I'm staying at Animal Kingdom Resort next year for my first ever
Disney.
Mike got weird.
No,
First,
listen, his mouth didn't move either, so that's especially weird.
I'm staying at the Animal Kingdom Resort next year for my first ever on-property Disney vacation. Do you have any good tips, tricks, or recs for the Animal Kingdom launch and how to best use my time there? Any experiences we have to do? My daughter will be 4 when we travel. Thanks, John.
Oh, okay. Your daughter's going to be 4. There's great restaurants at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. If your daughter's 4, the buffet, Boma, might be your best bet. I had breakfast at Boma. It was very nice. If you're looking for more of a date night thing, Jiku, right? Yeah, the eating place is good. Sanaa, which is over a little bit other part of the hotel. That's at the Kidani Village. The Jumbo House is the main section. Kidani Village, you might have to get on a little shuttle, but that's where Sanaa is. That's a great restaurant. It has very good bread service. We get a bunch of different non-breads and different dips for them. If you don't have the view into the savannah where the animals are roaming around, just make sure you go to some places around the hotel where you can look around at that. Keep in mind that if you're going to theme parks from that hotel, travel time can be a little bit long because you got to use buses. There's no monorail or any other fun transportation. It's just buses.
But don't be intimidated. The buses are very, very convenient. That's what we had to do, and it was very convenient.
Yeah, and if for some reason you're like, oh, but we got to really make sure we get to this theme park in the next 10 minutes, then get a Lyft, get an Uber, pay like $15 for that.
It's
if
a little
you're
bit
in some
tough.
big
It's a little
hurry.
bit tough with a 4-year-old, especially with a small kid, because the car seats. But you can also, in that area, there are going to be Ubers that will have car seats, and you can request that in the app.
Yeah, they have their own things in the Lyft. If the Lyft app specifically has something called minivans that you can order that are made for the those things. But yeah, just in general, when you're staying at a resort, make sure you give yourself some time to hang out at the resort. Get zebra domes. You can find them at some of the quick service things there called Mara, even maybe the gift shop. They're a specialty dessert item. They look like little zebra shaped, kind of not shaped, but pattern desserts. They kind of taste a little tiramisu-y. They're very good.
Just like real
zebra
zebras.
domes.
Yeah.
Just like what real zebras taste like.
Also, try to do the Tusker House character dinner. That was a real awesome
That's at
thing
the theme park. Yeah, that's
at
great.
the theme park. Yes, that's the Animal Kingdom theme park. But yes, so when you're there, try to make that happen.
Yeah, good stuff.
Speaking about animals, I watched Zootopia 2 over the weekend.
Oh, I haven't
how's
seen
that?
that.
The movie's too horny. The movie's really, actually, like for shoot, a little too horny.
No such thing, Jan. No such thing.
Okay.
Sounds like Quitter talk. I gotta see it. I did see Wicked for Good finally, but I haven't seen Zootopia 2.
What'd you think?
I thought it was okay.
Well, there we go. All right.
Sorry, Peyton.
Final email of the show comes from B. Hi, Jan. As a fellow, at least for the last 2 decades, Bay Arean, who has been a bookseller for years, thank you for talking shit about 48 Laws book at the top of episode 919. That's some fascist shit, fashizi. Shouts out to Keek to Sneak. Oh, you for real then. If it's a podcast email, long time, first time. As an independent bookseller, a big part of my job is recommending books to people I've just met. Having listened to some of y'all for over a decade now, I figured I could pair you each with a book you definitely won't read, but would really enjoy if you did. Bacalar. We Do Not Part by Han Kang, the snowiest, most depressing novel I've read in years. It's metal as
Snowiest?
Snowiest.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. It's metal as fuck and beautifully written. It also cares about people who hate fascists. Minati,
Okay.
Small Fires by Rebecca May Johnson. This book is about how cooking straight from the recipe is good, actually. As someone who tends to agree with you when you talk about food YouTube, I think you might find this surprisingly compelling as I did. Grub, Palo Alto by Malcolm Harris. It's the history of Silicon Valley, but also capitalism over the last century. Tech history that's not afraid of talking about everything from Leland Stanford's horses to anti-IBM bombings.
I own this on Audible already. I haven't listened to it yet. I'll put it to the top of the queue.
Reichert, Dike, parentheses, Geology, by Sabrina Imbler, a chap book about volcanoes and geology and being gay. I think you'd find it interesting and funny. Ochoa. These are all secretly also Jan recommendations, but for a bespoke rec, Mahjong by Nicole Wong is a pretty breezy read about the game that's also quietly about Asian diaspora's relationship to games. I have read this already. Thank you, B. Bonus Rex.
Oh, wow.
Grayson, After Accountability by Pinko Collective, gay anti-authoritarian communists talking to people about how to understand movements building right now. It's in the community the way I feel like Nikki is. McDowell. Turboshan strikes me as someone who appreciates technique, tightly displayed. Claire Keegan's Small Things Like This is a beautiful novella that's absolutely impeccable at the craft level. Zimmerheld. All I really know about Chuktowski is that he's thrown himself into the impossible task of making giantbomb.com work. So I'm going to say Tom's Crossing by Mark Z. Danielewski, a 1,200-page Western about riding two horses set for slaughter over a mountain people can barely climb with pitons in order to set them free. It's also my favorite book of the year. Hashtag I fuck with Chuck, parentheses, YouTube grub. Best B. And that does it for emails. Bombcast@giantbomb.com is the email address to send your emails to. Thank you for all the recommendations. I love those. They're all great. I love finding new music, being recommended books. I don't know, recommend
some music to me, Jan. I got the URL here, tinyurl.com/gbmusic25. I finally got that ready for
there we go.
Submit your music for Game of the Year discussions.
That's
Is
right,
that all
folks.
lowercase? Because I think it's usually
All lowercase, yeah, if it matters.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Definitely, folks, help Sean. If you got any bangers from this year, whether it's a score or songs from games from 2025, please send them Sean's way if you want them represented as we go listen to them. That will be part of the Game of the Year podcasts.
One more time, tinyurl.com/gbmusic25.
gbmusic25. There you go. Mr. Minotti, we got any super chats?
We do, from Andres R 305 Miami. Does Mike get coal for being the bad boy of gaming? Oh, I get coal, charcoal, and I put it in my grill and I make some tasty fat brisket. So that's, I'm a good boy.
Bitch.
What's that voice?
Bitch. Elder Joaquin says, did Jeff fight his baby steps in Skate or Die? And I think by Skate or Die they mean Skate Story. Skate or Die is a much older game. And I still want to know what Mike's favorite melon would be if he had to choose one. Melons are all pretty bad. They have a lot of water content. I really
watermelon
dislike melon.
has the most for sure, but it's the best.
Yeah, I think actually would still do watermelon. Like I find cantaloupe deeply upsetting.
Have you had it?
Even I almost laughed at that sentence. This is ridiculous.
Deeply upsetting, like more.
Yeah, that one smells. I really dislike the smell of cantaloupe.
Oh, got it.
Have you tasted it?
No, I just smelled it and I'm unimpressed.
I mean, look, I have no problem with what you don't like, but when you judge without trying is what bothers me.
Okay, all right,
You
Dad.
and my son, so.
Oh, Marino's saying salt up the cantaloupe. That sounds good.
Salt your fruit, gang. Salt your fruit.
Salt and sweet. It's good. It's good.
Like an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
You're
always anti-salt, Bacalar. You're always anti-salt.
I mean,
you put some tagine on fruit. That's amazing.
Yes.
It's mostly salt, I bet.
I never thought I would salt a fruit. Okay.
No, do it on a pineapple. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, salt is awesome.
Like a little sprinkle.
C. Brahma says, this is my favorite Nintendo adult podcast, but Grub's right. Go Going back to Metroid Prime 4 there. Antonio Morales says, I went to a bad high school. I think I had 50-something absences just from cutting class. I used to cut class just because I had to take a dump. Penis. See, I feel like if I had cut class like twice, I almost certainly would have just they would have just called my parents and I'd be in a ton of trouble and that would be it. Like, I don't think there was any getting away with it.
Mike, same in high school for me. Yes.
Yeah.
No, the trick is you get into the gifted program where you can do independent study. You take 4 of your 7 hours a day as independent study where you're supposed to be editing videos, but then get kicked out of the video production lab because you watch too many Tarantino movies and your short films are too violent. And then you got 4 hours a day where no one knows where the fuck you are. So you're at Funkoland.
All right.
That sounds a little bit different. Yeah, okay. In that situation, I probably could have skipped some more school.
But I also did just straight up walk out of math class and stuff too.
I definitely snuck out a window a couple of times to go get donuts for the class, and everyone was very excited. But that's it. Yeah.
I also wasn't driving back then anyways. I don't know where I'd go. Aggie says, happy birthday, Mike. I ran over an apple with my car and thought of you. Thank you so much. That's so nice of you. Appreciate that. Zombie Porn says, I need to hand it to Sean when he talks about games. Really informative, and you can tell he knows his shit. Also, is Jan okay? Should I Venmo him $5?
No, don't. Stop Venmoing me money. I appreciate
we were talking
sentiment.
about this episode. Sean should just be on here to talk about Metroid. It was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
JD Kip says, Mike, I don't always say it like that. Mike, look at me. Get yourself a Dangus library card. I had a library card. I haven't been to the library in a moment. I got
my first library card since the 90s the other day because my county was doing special edition Prince ones because Prince is from here. And
cool.
So I got a Prince library card. Yeah.
Cool.
Yo, y'all have heard me talk
Libraries
about
are
libraries
sick.
before. They're sick as shit. Some you
Man,
can rent
libraries are
games from
awesome.
too. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I should go to the
You can
library.
go get books, get comic books, manga, movies, TV shows. You can stream a bunch of
You can
stuff.
rent
If you have a
50
library card.
DVDs at a time. Who gives a shit? It's awesome.
I don't
Yeah.
have a printer anymore because I'm 30, so I go to the library instead. It's great.
Yeah.
If you have a Kindle, you do the Libby app and you can just download
Yes.
books for free. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And audiobooks and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Some libraries
Would it
will
be-
also rent you out power tools.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, did
I
someone
bet
have 3D
mine
printers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's it for the super chat. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to the show. Once again, Sean, hit him with a tiny URL to submit musical selections.
Yeah, make it really tiny this time.
tinyurl.com/gbmusic25. That is the number 2 and the number 5.
Thank you.
When are we putting that episode out? We're doing that after Game of the Year?
We haven't decided when we'll put it out because it requires a lot of editing.
Yes,
I
it's gonna be a lot of work.
really want to make it special this year. I want it to be the episode I've always wanted it to be without the pressure of to stream it or anything like that. Yeah, so it will be a pre-recorded episode that I'm going to do some fun stuff with. People will see, but I would imagine it'll be the last week of December somewhere in there.
Okay.
Just because I'm saying don't give me money, that doesn't mean that I'm giving money away. Dan Reichert requesting $5 on Venmo.
Look, just doing what you said.
You're right. Folks, what we got going on the rest of this week? Game S Mornings popping off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Right, Grub?
That's right. We'll be back all week.
Blight Club returns this week. Mikey is hitting the back lot again.
Oh.
Now we all feel the same.
I'm sorry.
I'm loving it. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, all normal humans feel the same.
Oh God.
Bacalar, why are
It's rough.
you
Less
look like
than-
you
less
just
than 24 hours.
Bacalar, you look like you got Ben starred for a moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, your exposure just ran
Flash
wild.
of light?
Yeah.
It's so strange. Downstairs, where would the lady would find you?
In his basement.
I know, it's true.
His man
Try to get
cave?
some
Basement light.
Try to get some runs in. This
Yes.
is the run of
Yes.
Epsilon,
Yes.
me and Grub.
Yeah. I was watching yesterday's run. I think you both should try getting hit less.
Yeah, I definitely had a bad moment there where there's sometimes in a game where I'll get on a wavelength of I'm in my own rhythm, and then the enemy will get into that rut, and I'll be like, oh no, they're just gonna hit me every time, and I have to figure things out.
Sure.
Yeah.
We also got a voicemail dump truck on Thursday. UPF this week, we were doing Ultimate Sheep Raccoon Sheep. What is
Ultimate Sheep Raccoon, the sequel to Ultimate Chicken Horse. That's out now. It's on Game Pass. But I'm gonna see if we can get us the rest of the team codes and all that. But yeah, we'll be playing that on UPF on Friday.
this?
We mentioned the TGAs.
I'm about to do that now. This Thursday, we will be talking over, these lovely gentlemen will be talking over the Game Awards, including the pre-show.
Yes,
Yeah.
in the pre-show.
I'm chilling a bottle of champagne right now. I'm going to crack
Yeah.
open for that.
Lovely.
Last year, you guys were in the pre-show, and I just kind of stood around and watched.
Oh,
yeah.
Crazy.
Shit, we did do that
Yeah.
last year, man.
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah.
I was giving out sandwiches. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How's that a year ago? Holy crap.
I know.
I just loved yelling across the room to Alana Pierce, sandwich award-winning video game artist, because she was one of our winners there. That was a good time.
Dan,
She didn't bring
remember?
it into the theater. She
No.
just had to return it. Yeah.
Nope.
Dan, I forget his Dave Oshry. You just handed him a gigantic sandwich as you got off the elevator.
And then he
in
started
the middle
like,
of the lobby.
That's the one that people, the lobby sub, yeah.
Yeah, he like shook a fist at you and yelled, "Goddamn giant bomb!"
Yep. That's the one that wound up in, was it CD Projekt Red's hotel room?
Yes.
Yeah,
think
it
so,
went
yeah.
everywhere. I think Andy Robinson got food poisoning off of that or something. It was great.
Hell
It went
yeah.
everywhere.
You know, and
We
hey,
should have put a camera in that thing.
I will be there at the Game Awards. So if if we're mutuals, if you're a friend of the site or whatever, please say hi. Don't be a stranger, and maybe you'll get a buzzball thrown your way. Who knows?
Whoa.
Not sponsored. They should be at this point. What the fuck, buzzballs?
You see that Sheets has like some like holiday buzzball or something
Yeah.
like that?
I've been tagged in so many of those.
The
crap.
elf ones, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I
they
mean,
got a separate one too now. All right,
shit.
folks. I think that about does it. Once again, we're going to be recording Game of the Year podcasts next week. So next week is going to be a little bit funky as we sort out our plans for the rest of the holidays. But gang, anything else we got to talk about before we gas break dip?
Hang on, they're called balls on the walls.
What?
These holiday
Like
buzz
Elf on a
balls.
Shelf.
That's great. Yeah, that's
From a
awesome.
window.
Uh,
Yeah.
Okay.
You've heard of Elf on the Shelf. Well, how about Balls on the Walls?
Walls.
Yeah.
I saw a perm on a sperm recently.
Okay.
All right. That about does it for the show. We'll be back in some form next week. Scout, please. He's been Sean. He's been Jeff. He's been Jeff. He's been Mike. He's been Dan. I've been Jan. Shouts out to Chuck. Check out the new website. Patience. Chuck sorts it all out. We love you. We'll see you next week for another episode of the Giant Bombcast. Goodbye.